Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today, and welcome to episode 256 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Today, I'm joined by the definitive edition, Lord Cognito. How are you doing today, good sir?
Final version, I promise. It's the final version. I won't tell you any more things. It's just this is the last. I'm telling you, it's just a one-time thing.
One-time thing.
Yeah, right.
No metaphor Fantasio.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, I sent you that. I was like, this is going to be a fun discussion. I was like, let me put the shirt on today. Feeling SEGA energy. But yeah, man, hang in there, man. It's been a rough week. Obviously, we didn't talk before the show. You know everything that's going on.
Sure.
But what I'll share with the realm of the Dukes is no shout out to Verizon today. No shout out to them. Absolutely horrible customer service that I went through. I've been dealing with a voicemail issue. And this is not the time, as Maddie knows behind the scenes, it's not the time for me to be missing calls and people not being able to leave voicemails with me.
Sure.
So I noticed this problem and I was just like, okay, I'd get a voicemail as full message. Like, all right, please go through your thing, delete and clear your mailbox. You see that message before. We've all been there. All right, cool. So I go there, you hit edit, there's no voicemails listed. Boom. All right, delete, restart the app, the typical IT troubleshooting.
Yeah.
Every time. There's no voicemails, but it's yelling at me that it's full. So I'm like, all right, this is crazy. So I had Attic, yo, bro, call me. Let me know what you have. He's like, yo, as soon as I call, it says full. I'm like, oh, no. Get on the phone with Verizon. Very nice person, but had me for 47 minutes. The fix was, all right, since you have visual voicemail, we're going to downgrade you and we're going to put you to basic. And then we're going to, at basic, to fix it. This process took forever. Got off the phone, did all this stuff. And at the end of the day, I said, Attic, call me. I don't trust them. Your voicemail is still full.
Oh, my God.
Bro, they didn't fix anything. And now I have less service. Because visual voicemail.
I was going to ask, what is visual voicemail?
Oh, visual is the truth. Let me tell you why visual is the truth. When it works, people who are down with visual voicemail, you'll see the voicemail come in. And then what will happen is almost like a text message. So let's say you left a message. You'd be like, it'll say from Maddie. And it'll tell me what it'll transcribe. It'll be like, yo, this Cog, yo, please call me back. So I can screen. I'll be like, that's B. Oh, that's real. That's BS. This is a telemarketer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you have a loan. And it's great. And I can just, I won't even call that person. It's awesome. Like, I've had visual voicemail for years. It's probably like
I didn't even know there was a name for that. Yeah, because I have an iPhone. They have a similar thing, but I didn't know there was a term for that.
Yeah, for Android guys, we deal with premium visual voicemails.
Nice. The service you pay for, huh?
Exactly. A little $2-3 a month, but I like it for me. But yeah, bro, even stripping it didn't fix it. So yeah, I'm back to square one. I don't have the energy. I was like, I'm not pushing Duke back any further today. And we will deal with it after the holidays. But yeah, don't leave a voice message for me because I won't get it.
Honestly, it worked out. I was recording a video on Fallout 4 today, bro. I just had one of those recording sessions where I just could not get it right. Like I have them like once or twice a year where I was there for 2 hours just restarting the first minute and a half of my video. And what happens is you get lost in this insanity cycle where you're just like, I don't think I got it anymore. I was like, I think I gotta quit now. I finally got it, and that's when you came back. You're like, all right, I'm good to go. I was like, wow, that's great timing. The whole time I'm just like, Cox gonna kill me, bro. I'm so late. So,
bro, I was thinking the same thing. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, this is gonna take 10 minutes. He gonna figure this out. He gonna give me the steps.
Yeah.
40s, and then he had the nerve to try to sell me. Oh, you could upgrade your Android. No, bro. Like you're not selling me nothing, and you ain't fixed the issue. Like,
and then they asked you to leave a survey for their great service. I was like, nah, 1 star.
Done. Yeah.
Hang up. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Cog. Well, this week is Thanksgiving, so it felt like a good week to get a little bit of health is wealth going on. We've got 2 completely different write-ins this week. Let's start off with a nice simple one here from Turd Ferguson. He writes, by the way, you can do so on patreon.com/laststandmedia. Almost forgot my plug there.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, support us there. Early ad-free access every Thursday. Otherwise, you can find us on free feeds. Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Just look us up every Sunday. Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Turd Ferguson with the write-in. Hey, Dukes. Let's address a truly important question. We get this one every year, but I like to revisit it. What is the definitive Thanksgiving side dish? Is it the mashed potatoes, the green bean casserole, stuffing, candied yams, creamed corn, etc.? Thank you, Turd, for writing in. All right, Cog. Turkey's on the plate, no doubt, right?
Of course.
Now it's time for the sides. Really what makes the Thanksgiving dish, as far as I'm concerned. What are we slapping on there? It's like, this is a must have.
This is tough for me because I love Thanksgiving sides. He's like, a lot of these listed are my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You trying to get me to choose between kids now. I am a stuffing guy. I do like stuffing. I'm a huge stuffing guy. Candy yams is God tier in the Black community, by the way.
Okay.
Just so you know. Just so you know. Urban, that candy is going to be hard for me to go. I'm going to throw in a weird suggestion that wasn't listed that is actually a weird cogism Thanksgiving thing. Obviously, you got my yams, or I have my mashed potatoes, and you have your stuffing. But Cog likes secretly that cranberry for some reason, bro. It just hits different. It's like a cheat. It's like having a fruit, like a dessert. With the, you know what I'm saying? Because everything, you know, you got your turkey, you got your dry eggs, the sauce.
Guy, right?
But like, I love like that little cranberry on the side, bro. So that's my weird one. That's probably not a popular choice.
Okay.
But everything here listed, only thing I would say, I'm probably not the biggest green bean casserole guy.
Yeah.
Not the biggest of that, but everything. I love mash. All this is good. Like, I love cream corn. Like, you can't go wrong with this list pretty much. But I'm curious, what's the baddie side champion Thanksgiving?
Well, I have the unique dish option, and then I'll pick from the classics, right? Okay, for me, I do think it's mashed potatoes. Like, you know, there's my easy, bro. Like, I love potatoes so much. I have potatoes like every week. I think they're fucking incredible. But there's something about the Thanksgiving mashed potatoes, nice and buttery. My mom makes a mean mashed potato, dude. Nice and smooth. It's awesome. Laylee's mom makes an incredible sweet mashed potato with like almost like a granola in it. Oh my god!
You got to invite. I need to invite. That's my joint right there. Sweet.
We should get together one of these.
Yes, like, that got to go down.
Yeah, because like this year, obviously too late, but next year, like. We should do like an LSM Thanksgiving or something.
Yes.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of fire.
Yeah. I've never done a Friendsgiving. I know that sounds really sad, but I've never done one. So I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
I'm down for it.
But yeah, for the unique dish, right? The one that I'm looking at every Thanksgiving, courtesy of my wife. So she has a signature dish that she brings every year to, whether it's our parents' Thanksgiving, like we alternate every year. So this year we're going to my parents'. But it'll be like her family's get together, my get together. It's a stuffing fried rice recipe that comes with a little side of chili oil.
Okay.
And oh my God, bro. It's got like cornbread, stuffing, fried rice, all mixed together. It is so good. I always have a shit ton of this. That is my go-to. Like, it is the definitive. Like, I didn't know about this until she started making it. It's either that or shout out to my Mimi. May she rest in peace. She made a great recipe that was passed on from my gram called creamed onions. Now, my boys roast this recipe.
I remember this story.
Because everyone, they see it, calls it the cummed onions. And I get it. I get how it looks. Just, you got to do one Google creamed onions. It's you're going to get beat down by your boys when you send that picture in the group chat, like, yo, Thanksgiving plate's lit, right? And they're like, what is that?
Wow, I've never seen this.
Yeah, but they're so good. It's just I love onions. And they're just bulbs of onions with like a milky cream on them, and they're just like smooth, but also a little sweet. And
they're gonna kill you in the chat.
Kill
you in the chat.
Yeah,
those are all I have the most sweet, creamy.
I got the most pause level Thanksgiving going on, but that shit is great, man. And that would be, I'd say, the Maddie household staple. So I got a lot. I mean, dude, I love little Thanksgiving, right? I mean,
it's the best.
You white meat, dark meat kind of guy. I'm really pausing it up right now. But
yeah, we pausing it up, especially you with the balls, and then I'm talking to you, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I like white meat. It's over for me. It's over for me right now. It's over for us. We have crossed the threshold. Cog likes white meat with his host. We're there, guys.
There we go. There we go. So you are a white meat guy.
Yeah. I love that little gravy on the side. Yeah. That's my joint.
I like dark meat. So
okay, see?
There you go. That's my co-host right there.
That's very The comment boys have fun. Have at
it. God damn. Why did you yell out there? All right. Well, Cog, let's switch gears here. Let's talk to Genius, but with Downs. That's the write-in. Hey, Dukes. I just got diagnosed with testicular cancer, and my left ball is going to have to be taken out. Now, I want to know if I should rock the half sack or have an implant put in. It might feel kind of cyberpunk to have that going on. Whatever the Dukes decide, I will run with. Thanks, and have a little pain turned into a big problem kind of day. Well, in all seriousness, man, I'm glad you're playing it off like this, but I'm obviously sorry to hear this.
Yeah,
not easy. But I had a friend who went through this, and he embraced the one ball life. It became like a whole nickname for him and everything, like the big celebration for him, like just cancer-free, one ball. He loves it.
Okay.
And I honestly think it's kind of a flex, dude, because it's always a great conversation starter. Like, what does that feel like? I had to ask. I was like, what is that like, bro? Like, are you off balance all the time? Like,
yo.
I was like, what's going on?
Like, it's a seesaw.
Seesaw. Yeah. I'm saying one ball, though.
You saying one ball? Okay.
Yeah. Cog?
It's a personal choice. I mean, look, no one. First of all, we're glad that you're addressing testicular cancer is no joke, right?
Yeah.
So to me, this is now. How do you feel post? Do you feel like you must have this? And for some people, it's cosmetic. Some people, you want the feeling of we here, both of us. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's personal. I mean, not to get too personal, but my mom had a mastectomy. She had breast cancer. And that's a personal thing for a woman, right? It's like, you're going to do the one, but again, she's older, right? So it's like, okay, I don't have that vanity, to be worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? Then you can do implant or whatever. But for a man, I get it too, right? It's like, this is a personal thing. And I guess my question is, not question, but it's like, it's based on, I guess, your activity. If you're like a younger guy and you're still moving and shaking, that may bother you, right? Because you don't want to see him come off as, unusual to someone, new, who we don't want to explain. And then two, but if you're in something already with a loved one, then it's like, they love you. Who cares, right?
So I didn't think of the encounter, the random encounters.
Yeah. See, it's the stage of life you are. See, my mom's like,
my friend was taken man. He's married now.
Yeah, see?
So, man,
easier.
One ball life is easy for him.
If you out and about, you got to think about the explaining uncomfortability or the prejudgment when it's time for action, right? Yeah. No one wants to be prejudged. Exactly. People are foul. Some people are foul, right? You know what I'm saying? Just think about a regular person with any type of cosmetic, when you could see it, right? How even us sometimes as human beings, we could be insensitive to someone who has any form of a defect or whatever, right? That's a visual. But now when you get into the intimate time, that can mess with a dude's confidence. So like I said, it's personal, bro. Where you at in life, if you're already in something or not, you're going to make the right decision. I trust you, man. Do what you think is best for you. Yeah,
I agree. And, again, best wishes to you. I'm glad you're having fun talking about it.
You're having fun, yes.
Take it away from the kind of stress of it all. Yeah. But we really do hope you're doing well. And obviously, ultimately up to you. I know you've put it up to us, but ultimately up to you. I'm just saying, rock the half sack, bro. You rock sound
the half and just do it.
You sound like a confident guy.
Yeah, he do sound confident. Yeah. And the vibe, he probably, if I had to guess, he probably got someone. So it's like,
if he's giving me taking man vibes, right?
Yeah, if you take it, just rock the sack one off and you good.
Yeah, come on now. Anyway, best wishes to you. Obviously, let us know what you choose.
Yes, we need a follow up. What's your man? Genius, but with the downs.
Yeah, let us know, Genius. All right.
No doubt.
Let's follow up with our audience. I got caused a bit of a ruckus last week. I got called emotional. Really wasn't a pretty look for me last week, it seems.
Coming for you.
Yeah. Now, I try to make sure people know I am one of those annoying Expedition fans. Like when Colin talks about like I'm that guy. Like I'm sure he was deep down when we were doing our spoiler cast with me, him, and Brad. Like he was probably suffering because I was like that guy who just had an answer for everything. So when I talked about Charlie 4 Hour Cox last week, I knew I was going to get into a little bit of shit. And so we have the write in here from Deacon Dude. He says, "Hey Dukes, I'm here to call out Maddie. You have an issue with my boy Charlie Cox, the devil of the Hell's Kitchen himself, being nominated for best performance. Why? Because it was a quick job? The award isn't most passionate. It isn't most takes. It is best performance. And he gave us an incredible performance as Gustav. Stop hating on the man for being so talented, and he can pull off such an incredible character in an afternoon. Have a Larian wanted to make KOTOR 3, but Disney wouldn't let them add Wampa Ice Beast sex kind of day." Much love from Texas, Deacon Dude. Thank you, Deacon Dude, for writing it.
Before you answer, we are calling this man Charlie 4 Hour Cox, saying that he did a quick job and it's about his performance. I just wanted to get that out there so that we get the comments all riled up.
Yeah, 4 hours of performance by Mr. Cox.
Continue. How do you respond, sir? How do you defend yourself to this travesty that you did?
Yeah. Well, first, I have to defend one thing, right? Because it's like there's two phases to it now. Because when I speak, and I try to be self-aware. It's funny. I was talking to Laylee about it. I forgot what it was we were talking about, but I said to her, I think I need to stop getting ramped up when I talk because I sound more angry or upset than I actually am. Because I know myself emotionally. Like when I'm speaking emotionally, like I did with GTA 6, like I'll literally clarify and be like, this is an emotional take, but like I hate this. I've, without getting into my personal life or making it too overdrawn, like I've had to become very emotionally trained because I've been my whole life around very emotional people. So I had to be sort of the stable person for myself, by the way, just to be clear. Like it was kind of like a survival thing, but it's helped me out a lot, and I went to therapy and whatnot. So it's like all good. But when people are like, yo, bro, you're so fucking emotional, I'm just like, whoa, man. Like, okay, maybe to you, but like, I'll try to dial it in for this one here. So what I was attempting to say, and I think I could have gotten my point across a little bit better when I was listening back. I was like, all right, I see like where there were things I quickly made a point on before jumping into the broader point. What I was attempting to really say is that it was really of no disrespect to Charlie's actual performance, but more to the idea of like the industry voting in a guy who did 4 hours of voice work and like barely had participation in the project. Not because it's as is laid out here, a most takes or most passionate. It's more that like he was just a voice and relatively disconnected from the rest of a all-encompassing performance like we've seen with, I'll give an example in a little bit actually, but he actually responded to his nomination. And I thought his response was interesting. Of course, Humble King himself made my fight a lot more difficult because now he's being all gracious and everything. And so everyone's just like, oh man, give it to him. I wasn't about it, but give it to him. I get where people are coming from. I wouldn't like, I'm not going to be up in arms. I'm like, this guy fucking won because I love, this is like my favorite game of the year, my favorite games of all time.
This is my goatee. Yeah.
He said, I'm thrilled for the nomination. I've said this before, and I think it's important to say there's an amazing French actor by the name of Maxime Cazorla. I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering that name, who did almost all of the motion capture for the role in that game. So he said, so any nomination or credit I get, I really have to give to him. I believe that the performance of that character is really down to him, and my voice was just part of that process, which I think we all forget a little bit with video game performance, and was something I failed to illustrate. It doesn't mean that I'm right or people are wrong, but I think it's something that could have at least taken the emotionality out of it for some people, was that a performance in gaming sometimes is just the voice, and then there's a completely different mocap actor. And mocap actors are oftentimes overlooked, but they're the thing we're actually see. Like, there's two parts to acting, right? There's the voice and the way you project it, and then there is the visual part of it all. And the example I think of like a truly great, all-encompassing acting performance, like Troy Baker's Indiana Jones immediately comes to mind. Luke Roberts as James Sunderland in the Silent Hill 2 remake. Obviously, Silent Hill F with Hinako. That was another incredible performance. To me, Silent Hill is the home for like, I want to pick my words carefully here when I say, because I was going to say true acting, but I don't mean it like in a disrespectful way, but I mean like traditional acting performance. Traditional visuals and the voice, same person. For me, that is the best performance.
Right.
And so when I see the industry nominate a guy who did 4 hours of voice work in the booth, he did his part, and he did his part excellently. but is that an all-encompassing performance that puts him on the level of even his co-stars, his Ben Starr and his Jennifer English, who, as I tried to illustrate last week, are people who are more in the game and who I don't really argue the nomination for. I think it's a different conversation there. That's my personal opinion on it, is that I do think it makes us look like, well, what is a great all-encompassing performance? Is it because, again, without spoiling, because I still don't want to bend to that level.
Right.
This will be the last I talk about it, but he's not in the game that much. Is it because of certain moments that it's like, well, that made me feel something? There's two moments with him that I think are like iconic.
Powerful,
in this game.
powerful,
very powerful. So I'm like, I get where people were like standing up and being like, "Fuck you, Maddie." I'm just trying to say, I guess, how I view a all-encompassing award-winning performance versus like a part of a performance that was really good. And I think there's a little more nuance to it that I did not illustrate as well. And I'm not saying subtly you all are going to agree with me, but hopefully this at least makes more sense. And the other thing, it's funny, I was talking about lately with this too, is I said, I got to stop trying to get a rise out of Cog when I'm making a point, because I'll say something like Charlie 4 Hour Cogs, because I know Cog is going to laugh.
That was amazing.
Because I love to make him laugh, because it makes me laugh, and I think it just kind of breaks the tension a little bit. And so when I do that while I'm like ranting, I think I just sound like I'm pissed.
Yes, that's
but I'm not pissed.
But you're not pissed. We just having fun. I get that. I
apologize if anyone thinks I am like this ranty, ravey, angry guy. I am very passionate, and I'll never change that. But I understand where some people were coming from. Just like, let's tone down the whole, like, this guy's deeply fucking emotional and like he's got problems. I'm like, this is where we wade into like disrespectful versus like, hey, Maddie, you could have said it better, which I think is fair.
For sure. No, that's fair. And I think we both get that from different sides, you know what I'm saying, as far as our passion and where it comes from. And then it's like, oh, God, you're always defending. I'm like, well, that's not actually true. But, I get it. And sometimes it's the way we say things. And sometimes we're having fun with each other, making each other laugh. Yeah. But some of the LSM fam who are very passionate about said subject will look at that as disrespect. Like, oh, he going crazy on our boy. Like, we got to get him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That kind of thing. So I get it.
Yeah. So I hope that at least makes sense. I don't expect the Expedition fandom to be like, oh, okay, I get it. You're cool now, Maddie. Like, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course.
Something in that I have said will still be like, well, but like, last week I was like, I don't know if there's like a fully award-winning performance in the whole game. In my opinion, like, I think it's, to me, my assessment of Expedition 33 is it is a sum of everything about the game is great to excellent. And when that all comes together, it makes for one of the best games ever. But I don't think it's like one singular part of the game I point to,
that's fair.
But that's how I view things. Anyway,
I think it's a fair argument.
I appreciate the Expedition faithful. I am one of you. All right, let's keep going, Cog. We have news to get into this week. Xbox dropped a 2025 update for the month of November. We got some things to talk about. Gaming Copilot is now available on the Xbox mobile app. This is something you, myself, and other members of the press and Xbox creators were briefed on around the top of the year when Xbox was kind of pushing into this Gaming Copilot thing. And obviously we know with the next generation, like what they're probably planning to do is deeply incorporate this into the actual console / PC experience. And so what you'll be able to do is have them recommend a game to you or have them catch you up on things that you were doing in the game when you last played, which I actually think might be a useful feature. Xbox full screen experience is arriving on more devices, which is cool to see. You can select your preferred cloud gaming resolution, which kind of also works as a little bit of a advertisement for Game Pass, because it'll say like 1080p 7 gigabytes an hour, or if you got Game Pass, get that high quality resolution 1440p max quality 14 gigabytes an hour for Game Pass streaming. But yeah, obviously a great part of the service. So that's there. So now if you're like not having great internet or whatever, you could just tune down that resolution, or based on what screen you're using, may not need all that resolution. And then Xbox Cloud Gaming has arrived in more locations like Brazil, Argentina, etc. And they'll be bringing the Xbox app on more Amazon Fire TV devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K Plus, Fire TV Stick 4K Select, Fire TV 4 Series TVs, and the Fire TV Omni QLED TVs. So Xbox is expanding in a lot of interesting ways. They're truly going everywhere, as we know they have for a while. But Cog, what do you make of this entire November update? For me, I know I'm like not very like pro AI, but I do have some interest in how Gaming Copilot will kind of work because again, I do like the catch up feature. I do think as someone who juggles a lot of games, I think of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like I played like 30 hours, got to Gutenberg, had to stop to review a bunch of shit. Had these thoughts, but like instead of watching a YouTube video and refreshing, just like, what was I doing last? And just catch me up to that point in the game. I think that would be really useful. So with that, Cog, what do you make of this update? What are you looking at here?
Yeah, I think for me, it's one of those things that I'm just happy that the initiative, specifically with the full screen experience, is still moving forward. And they didn't try to pull a fast one where it was like, okay, yo, now that we got the ROG Xbox Ally X, we're going to have that locked down for that type of experience, for that device, to force you to get that device and that the older device don't get it. And then as well as the thing that I have to test out is Windows 11 on a PC level having that OS, that full screen experience that is optimized towards gaming. Those are the things I want to see the improvements. Again, these are the half steps before you try to get into the ring with a Steam, right? Yeah. So I want to see how far you go, because if you have it on the PC side where now it's optimized, right? And we're less noise and less resources being pulled away from gaming. I don't like the famous baddie joke. I don't want the calculator updating. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all the things that the Windows Store and Windows 11 have been notorious to be non-gamer friendly, because these devices were really made, not, from a consumer and a business standpoint and a productivity standpoint versus a gamer standpoint, right? So you got that. As far as Copilot, I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? I know this is a big thing they want to push, right? I'm just trying to, I have to figure out practical uses for me. Okay, what make me use it? The only thing I can think of is that, I am definitely an achievement, say like a hunter, or I'm a person like when I get a game, I want to know what the scope of the achievements are, right? So I am the guy that will go and say, okay, what's the secret achievement? Go to true achievements, the link, in the old dashboard. Okay, what is it require? That kind of stuff. So maybe that is where I'll try to experiment with Copilot and see how useful it is. Because right now it's just, just something I don't feel naturally intuitive to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just used to doing things the old way kind of thing. So yes, I know it's on the ROG Ally. They have a button. I haven't tested it. I will test it. I will test this on the phone. And maybe, I get surprised. Listen, as much as I'm the person that's pro tech, I was the last person to use ChatGPT and that kind of stuff. I was very late. Now I find myself using it a little bit. I'm like, all right, this was helpful. This helped me, kind of solve an issue that I had a general inquiry about, right? So you got that. I think the most impressive out of all this, to be honest, is their commitment to cloud. They're still going extra strong, with it. Obviously, are offering more tiers, offering more bandwidth. That's always great. I don't know how it compares to GeForce Now, because to me, those guys are still the class leader. But I do like the fact that they're launching in other companies, and especially in a world where they're being more like this company, you're gonna, especially when they're not prioritizing the console, right? It's going to be imperative for you to get in these other markets that way, right? And if they're seeing growth, and they're seeing, I know they put out a statement about growth. We'll get into that. But and I think the more important thing is, like, when I see the Amazon, the Fire TV sticks and all that stuff, that's a big deal, because those are people who really utilize that kind. There's people who use Fire. I know that. And if they can, again, sneak their way in to all these different endpoints, and I know one time we talked about, them being in car screens and all this other stuff. I get it. That's what you want to do. You want to be everywhere. This is how you do it. Now you implement it, and you provide the best versions of it on these endpoints. That's that part.
Let's stick with that for a sec, because you mentioned the new stats, and we don't have to even keep that separate since we're talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Xbox Cloud Gaming with Game Pass is up 45%, according to Xbox. They say cloud gaming hours from Game Pass subscribers has increased 45% compared to this time last year, and console players are embracing flexibility, spending 45% more time cloud streaming on consoles and 24% more on other devices. Meanwhile, cloud gaming is now available in 29 countries. So obviously we don't have the numbers to see what that jump actually is, but more people are cloud gaming. And This is interesting data to see just because, I mean, how little data we can get really, but it's interesting to see because PlayStation recently did that new PS Plus update for their streaming side of things. And I was messing around with it because it was really centered around the PS Portal. And the PS Portal now feels like a whole different system. It's a lot more pick up and play. You don't even need a PS5. I pick it up not my whole library, but most of my library is there. And I just straight up stream off that device. And it's better than remote play, which is something I know. Shout out to Mama Micah. I know Mama Micah and I are remote players. This
I used to be a remote player.
Yeah, but it's like totally better now.
Oh wow!
Like it compared to Xbox, I think they're like similar. Like something that's interesting about what PlayStation did here is, you remember when they first did like PS Plus and all this stuff, like everyone was like, yeah, Game Pass is way ahead. Plus they have cloud streaming. What PlayStation has done this generation is kind of brought them in line.
That's what I've heard.
And that Portal update's really impressive. So to see them kind of get up to speed now, I wonder how Xbox will kind of keep, as the known market leader, how they'll keep ahead and maintain their cloud streaming base. I imagine it's by putting this app everywhere. But anyway, you wanted to talk about these numbers, 45% up, 30 countries. How are you feeling?
Look, it's interesting to me. I mean, obviously they're clearly proud. They want to, talk about how they're up from this time last year. For me, I still look at it. I don't want to say it's a nothing burger stat, but it's one of those things that I would love more tangible information on how much up it is, kind of thing. To me, the more important thing is available now in 30 countries. That is the biggest thing. Again, the proliferation of their service to more people. That's how they continue to grow. That's how they continue to make money, because for the most part, they're doing well. So it's just like, that to me is important. So yeah, other than that, I'm like, okay, they're clearly excited. They want to talk about this.
Indeed. This next one's interesting. Credit to Xbox and Asus. They have really been, I didn't think they'd abandon the Xbox Ally. They did promise updates, but they're coming a lot quicker and more readily than I personally anticipated. They've just introduced default game profiles. And what this is effectively what I would call Xbox's current equivalent to the Steam Verified program. Like, this is most optimized in this way for this device. And so they used an example like Hollow Knight Silksong, where they said the default game profile for this can add nearly an hour of battery life compared to performance mode, but yet this default game profile still delivers smooth 120 FPS gameplay. And I found that to be a big deal because one of the big problems I had with this device was its battery life, and the fact that it's like, it's not just like, you can squeeze a few, like 15, 20, but an hour almost. An hour is everything on that device, right? With like how performant it is. And I know for a lot of people, they're like, that's an indie game, 2D side scroller. It's not a lot going on there. And I get that. I think that's fair. But they revealed a list of first-party titles supporting it, and they said there are going to be 40 more. And those games are Black Ops 6, 7, Warzone, Doom Eternal in the Dark Ages, Forza Horizon 5, Gears 5, Gears of War Reloaded, Gears Tactics, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 remake. So again, it's something that I want to let them cook and then like kind of revisit in January probably and see how things are looking. But I do think this is a good update. Like this is, the more games support this is awesome, because it gets, you squeeze more out of the device, more of like what it's known to do, like high performance, but also getting better battery life out of it is a great trade-off. So I'll be keen to see what the battery life comparisons are with some of like the more demanding titles, your Call of Duties, your Dooms, those sorts of things. But as the Ally guy,
yes,
how do you feel about this?
Love this. This is big. I want to see more of it. It kind of reminds me of almost like when the back-to-back program first started, and you saw that hunger, that eagerness to get stuff out. We're adding more. And to me, that shows at least a commitment to the handheld space, right? Because one of the things that they have to do, and I think is very important with this update, is that you want to take the tweaking and twerking out of the user's hand. Yeah. So if it has that stamp, optimized, and it has this kind of a level of functionality, huge. For me, I ain't gonna front, I almost did a backflip. I'm glad you showed me this. I love to see Gears Tactics on this list. Nice. First of all, that is one of my favorite new IPs from them ever. Second, it's one of the best new turn-based games. Like, that game's phenomenal. The problem that I had with it is I figured, man, it's old. And now, it's not that they didn't perform well. One of the best benchmark tests ever. My issue was the offline part of it. Like, you could not literally play it offline. And I'm hoping because they're going back into it, they address that, because I want to play that game now. Like, that game is so good. So so much replay value, end game. Like, it's crazy. So that was just a side tangent. I'm just glad to see Gears Tactics.
Yeah,
they're going back to it.
Yeah, just see his name.
Please, yes, give me that. That is perfect on the go and one of the best games. Oh my God, I love that game so much. But yeah, this is good. Overall, great update. Keep it up. Keep this up. Keep the Play Anywhere up. It's good stuff. Good stuff so far.
I agree. What's not great and what we don't want them to keep up is this next one, Cog. The Xcrocs, or the Crocs with an X, dare I say, are real. We have the writing here from the man Joshua Anderson. He says, let's not bury the lead and cut to the chase, fellas. Cog's getting those Xbox Crocs right. Matter of fact, Xbox already sent a pair, right? Be honest, Cog. Otherwise, you're going to end up buried in Xcrocs as a Christmas gift. The Lords and Maddie probably already have their orders out. How are we feeling about this, bro? I think this is a disgrace.
This is a disgrace. This look at this. Yeah,
look at that children's toy.
It's a toy. This is a hungry hippo shoe. Like this right here. Oh my God. The disrespect from the LSM community and the Iron Lord community on my DMs, on my timeline, when this foolishness was announced, people already hit me up. Talk about, yeah, when's the next goal? Ain't y'all going to Germany? Ain't y'all doing Gamescom? We're putting you in this. I'm like, bro, if you don't get off my life. Bro, they were terrorizing me this week with this. And I'm like, of all the, like, see, this is the thing with Xbox, man. Being an Xbox fan, bro.
Glutton for punishment.
Bro, it's like, y'all know I hate this whole croc thing, right? It's like, why my company got to be attached to the most uncool thing?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here's a great example. Right? I see PlayStation's like, we're teaming up with Secret Lair. Come get your platinum trophy collection of like 50 cards from your favorite PlayStation IP. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And here's Xbox. Get your Crocs, guys. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man?
Get your Crocs. Yeah. It's all there. Yeah. Xboxer. Like, it's always
they just want to be a goofy meme, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They just want to be a meme. They want to be like a TikTok somewhere. And I'm like, I fucking hate it.
That's why I know it's like, it's old dudes running it. And you know, listen, I'm a Gen X. I'm old. I know it's old dudes running around. Yo, you know what they gonna like, bro?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A new generation, when they're streaming our games, they're going to be wearing their Xcrocs.
Bro.
Give that man a raise.
Oh, my God. I will give the Croc faithful this. Oh, no. At least it was the best looking version of those hideous things. But it just, bro, why they got what they call them? What is it?
They got the sizzle reel with like this.
What they call these? The giblets? What they call these?
Oh, they actually have a name for that. See, to me, the thing that deeply disturbed me is right when the trailer opens, you literally see like this little module flip in it. Like it's like an actual, like they're treating it like a hardware review. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, it's just not that though,
bro. And then you know what pisses me off when people that like Crocs, they be like, yeah, then you got to put the top down, put it in sports mode. Like if you don't get off my line, like you got a spoiler on this. Like it's a car. Like I hate when dudes.
Oh my God. Have you actually seen full pictures of these things?
No, let's see this atrocity.
Yo, I've never. Okay, so I saw the trailer they put up. I can't believe I said that. I saw the trailer they put up. Look at the top of these fucking things, bro. If I see anyone out there with these things,
they're going to do it. Oh,
bro, I can't believe this is a thing. Oh my God.
You know it's bad when they sell them at Dick's Sporting Goods. The first thing, Dick's Sporting Goods selling that. So you already know it's a bad look.
Player left, player right.
Oh man.
Bro,
and they got,
right, so for those
they got a bumper, they got a left bumper and a right bumper.
That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. I didn't even peep that. They got the bumper, the triggers.
The LB and the RB. Wow. That's kind of great. But the whole, so for those who don't want to like put their eyes on this thing, I'm not really getting this. Hang on, now I got to break this thing out. Okay, so on the top of the shoe, they have the thumbsticks, they have the D-pad, they have the face buttons, the pause button, everything, the Xbox home button. So they're mimicking an Xbox controller, right?
Yes.
But yet they split the shoe into two, like your left bumper and your right bumper. So why isn't like half the controller the face buttons and then the other half is the analog stick? Like,
why are there two analogs on each?
Yeah, bro.
Again, I'm just cursed, man. I picked the wrong teams.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, don't. I literally go on a campaign that Crocs is the ugliest shoe ever, and that's why I says, you know what?
Yeah,
that's what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. I feel like this is a joke against me. I feel like Xbox literally did this for me.
You know what's funny? They don't even have the bumpers labeled. They're just
there's no bumper label.
Little rubber pieces on these things.
Unbelievable.
So it's just rubber stuck to it. That looks worse.
Bro,
phoned in, bro. Yeah, they want to be a TikTok.
Yeah, this is old man at the barbecue grill vibe. Yeah. Like this is like I think my boy who works in works in what you call it, is in foot retail. Like he told me it's like for these shoes were created for people who like do gardening. Yeah, the Croc was created for that. You know what I'm saying? Like nurses, like
it's $80, bro.
How much was it?
80
for
these. You want to spend 80, bro? Meet me outside. If you pull up to any LSM meetup and I see you in those,
they coming.
The meetup is about to turn into a beatdown. Like we're not allowing you to walk out.
They gonna be ganged out with this. I already know what they gonna do. Bro, mark my word, they gonna have me in this by the summer. I already know my community. I already know the joke state, bro. They can't wait to terrorize me in this.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, you'll let me know how they feel.
I hate you right now. The nightmare continues.
All right. Well, that's a good segue, actually. Battlefield 6 is having absolutely stellar year. Matt Piscatella has the data. All right. Let's read through this, Cog, because there's a lot of bits of information here, and then I'll segue us into where Black Ops 7 is. So Matt Piscatella writes, Battlefield 6 debuted as the best-selling game of 2025 year to date. Battlefield 6 is currently the best-selling game of 2025 on both Xbox and PC aggregated storefront charts, while ranking second year to date on PlayStation behind only NBA 2K26. Battlefield 6 produced the highest single-month U.S. physical and digital full game track dollar sales total in 3 years.
Wow.
The last title to generate a larger full game track dollar sales total in a single month was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in October of 2022.
Big Vince again.
Yeah. Battlefield 6 launched as the best-selling game in the franchise history, with its October 2025 volume surpassing the lifetime sales total of previous record holder Battlefield 1. So, I mean, best-selling game of the year, Battlefield is killing it right now. That goes without saying. Now, this year, we had some interesting comments come out of Activision about this year's Call of Duty. The one that really stands out in my brain, at least, to frame this part of the conversation, and I'll kick it to you, Cog, was the, Call of Duty's too big to fail. And, they were not really intimidated by Battlefield 6's swagger. Like, they were coming in hot and they were like, whatever, we're COD, right? And I don't blame them for thinking this way, even if it's annoying, because I think Modern Warfare 3 is all you have to look at. It was dragged online. It was not good. I do think the multiplayer helped it, though, because like the nostalgic MW2 maps. But also the acquisition by Xbox kind of fueled, I think, a fan base to be like, hey, it's not that bad. And ultimately, I think a lot of the critique got watered down. But it was a moment where I felt there was a breaking point, and it still ended up being the best-selling game of that year. When you see a stat like that, you go, well, what's the point, right? This Titan can never be toppled. Well, it looks like, I call it, as you would put it, Cog, I was thinking of you when I coined this term in my video, like the champ got rocked a little bit here. And it has now opened up a new conversation. Now, the difference here in this conversation is we are talking about like, oh, Call of Duty might be like the number 2 or 3 best-selling game of the year. But it does show a transformation that we've not yet seen before. Okay, so let's get into the stats. The Game Business reports that Black Ops 7's European launch sales are down 63% over Battlefield 6. They write, this was during the debut week in October. Based on the estimates, the game is also down by 50% over last year's Call of Duty Black Ops 6. This data is courtesy of GSD, which tracks digital and physical sales across Europe. The data does not include downloads via digital or via subscription services, and obviously Black Ops 7 being a part of Game Pass, while Battlefield 6 is not. Okay, so that's step one. That's Europe, right? Japan's never been a big region for Call of Duty, but Black Ops 7 marks the lowest the franchise has ever been in that region. The height of it was with Call of Duty Black Ops 2, where it almost reached 250,000 people. So again, small region, but still the data says something, because right now Black Ops 7 is at 12,000 copies in Japan, which is, again, it says something. You combine that with Call of Duty losing $300 million in sales last year because of the inclusion in Game Pass. So now we're losing more. And then the US data is what Matt Pescatella shared, right? That Battlefield's the best-selling franchise. So what we see here are all the bits of data. You can even throw the Steam player chart in there that compared to Black Ops 6's launch, Black Ops 7 is way down. And we're able to tell that because Call of Duty is a unified launcher. So you can see the spikes and where it falls. But Call of Duty is really down this year. And it's been on a steady, if you look at, again, the Steam charts, you'll see it's a steady downward trajectory. Call of Duty does lead in engagement on Xbox. It was the number one ranked engaged title according to Circana on Xbox. Interestingly, though, PlayStation, where 80%, it was said last year, according to that same report where Xbox lost millions of dollars on Black Ops 6, 80% of that player base for Call of Duty is on PlayStation. It was number 2 in its launch week, beat out by Fortnite, which again, this is where we get into that weird dick measuring contest where it's still doing great, but it shows a kind of changing of it's very gradual. And it could be overblown. It could be one of those moments where it's like, well, next year, COD's back. They're listening to the fans. It's what we wanted, and it does well, and it's back on top. And people are just looking for that refresh. But it does show that with a strong competitor in your face, plus Arc Raiders, we could also throw them in there, that the options have spoken to the masses where people are being pulled from this beast. And this is also significant, of course, because you have a kind of Sinister Six-like monster that has lost a little bit here, and it shows these things can happen. So that's kind of the breakdown of the information, Cog. I want your assessment on all this, because we talk about this a lot. Can the champ ever be rocked? So what is your read of this data here?
Concerning. Concerning. Yeah. I think for me, the first eyebrow raise was the Steam initial numbers. When I first saw Call of Black Ops 7, the initial numbers on Steam, I'm like, ooh, that's softer than normal, right? And we started to hear reports in Europe. We're like, ooh, okay. And to your point, like Battlefield 6, I mean, we knew out the gate when we saw the demo, the commitment from EA, the commitment, to put Vince Zampella to lead the project. And the key always came down, can they nail it? And in Call of Duty's defense, it's like, yeah, we've heard you're coming, whatever, right? Because even in bad year, I remember, what was that year? Was it Ghost, Call of Duty Ghost? It was like, when it was like, this was a very, not a great Call of Duty. And I believe it was Battlefield 4, something else was out at around the same time. And people were like, yo, this might be the year, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, Battlefield, even their worst, version of Call of Duty still die. That's what we've been used to for decades.
Yeah.
So this is significant because Battlefield 6 off the jump is what I always look at year to date. 2025, year to date, you just dropped brand new, you've already sold the most. Wow. Now, granted, yes, Call of Duty, we're going to wait. When they're included next month, we'll see their placement. But this is pretty impressive. Now, shout out to Black Ops 6, the actual good one. I'm looking at it right now. It's still number 6 on it. I'm very curious on the placement in conjunction with where it is at number 6 and number 7. Black Ops 7, and then compared to the rest on this list. So, yeah, and then obviously you talked about Arc Raiders, right? We see the success, I'm dying to know how that does on console because the Steam is insane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got that. Look, it goes to show you, Black Ops 7, based on your, reporting, your assessment, everyone else that I've seen, I still haven't got a chance to play it, But they're just like, yo, bro, it's not good from a single player perspective. Now, granted, yes, that's not the whole game. People like the campaign, they like the zombie, they like the other aspects of it. But it is clear that Battlefield 6 by the masses is considered the superior game. And here's the problem. The way Vince is constructing those Battlefield teams, they are poised to target the champ. They're like, we're doing Redsec. You got Warzone, we got Redsec, we're doing that Battle Royale too. And my only fear for Battlefield is obviously I like them that they didn't do past gen, just current gen. And I like them not necessarily on an annual cycle. I prefer them to have more development because I think that's really what's happening to COD. It's years and years of this. Well, at some point,
it's growing.
You become mad at it. It's very light feature update. I give 6 the credit in the world because they really did a lot of new stuff. Omnidirectional, shout out to my meat shield stuff. I was like, okay, and had a dope campaign. Please, Maddie, play that damn game.
You have my word.
I was so mad you played this campaign. I was like,
I didn't beat this campaign. To be fair, it was an hour and a half of my time.
Fair enough, but I just want you to fire it up just so you can see what a good job these guys did.
No, I know. I believe in my goats at Raven Software. That was why it was so weird with this one because Raven Software to me never misses, bro.
And the last point I say is we can't ignore the elephant in the room. Remember, I said it when it was you here with Brad with the 4 games update. I was like, party's over. We're SEGA. And being SEGA means Game Pass is over. The Call of Duty experiment is over. So we can't not acknowledge the cannibalization part, right? On that platform. That's also a factor here. 80% on PlayStation. Now that's number 2 over there due to Fortnite. Obviously the Xbox guys and most likely the PC people, they're going to use Game Pass to access it. Is this what they want? The only thing I can say, I would very curious, I don't know if they would ever reveal this data, is when you do have that monthly active user and the engagement factor, because that part is still strong, are they seeing revenue because of that? Because they may say, all right, we lost some sales, which no one wants to do, but, look how long they're playing. Look how much they're staying, how much they're buying. If they could show that data, which they probably never will, and say and be comfortable, maybe they're okay. But regardless to what they're not okay is, Battlefield 6 is the superior game. It has a zeitgeist. And last final point, when I was in Japan, when I was at Tokyo Game Show, the presence that Battlefield had was scary to me. I could not believe how not only were they dominating the show floor, also I'm talking about regular culture. I get off at, I forgot the name of the station, Mahase Station or whatever it is with an M. Bro, billboards. I go other places in Japan. I'm seeing Battlefield 6 like it's a local Japanese title. EA did their homework. They did their homework. They put their flag in the region. So I was like, ooh, this is different. Right. So salute to them. This is competition. We want competition. And I'm hoping that this now gets them to fix what it is. I doubt they will ever do, hey, we're going to skip a year. That ain't happening. But it's going to force you to tighten up because Vince ain't playing. He coming for you, bro.
No,
is on the rope.
When you say that about the marketing, you combine that with what they did. They threw 4 teams at this game, right? They had like a team for every version of the game, like the campaign team, the portal team. I think 2 teams were assigned to multiplayer. How we know there's like a Redsec team. And they've thrown a lot of resources at this thing. Like, I think that report that was saying, 5 to 6 years from now, they're going to be annualized. I can't imagine you throw this much weight into it just to win once.
Right.
And that's the scary part about it is like, I think about what happened with college football, right? There was an actual football game that came out that was celebrated and loved, and it was like a top seller all year. That's because it was new and fresh and exciting. There was an injection of ideas there, just like Battlefield. Battlefield takes that time to assess the market, sees what Call of Duty is doing terribly, and responded to it really well. And a lot of fans went and bought the game, and some Call of Duty fans seemingly migrated over. I feel like it'd be foolish for them to not assess that part of the business that works for them just as well. Like, oh man, if we do that again and we just keep gradually chipping away, I don't know if you topple them that way, but you definitely bleed them out over time. And I don't think because you delivered one great Battlefield game that now it's like, okay, the next one's going to be great. Because the thing I talked about in my video on this topic is we're one Battlefield removed from everyone who was losing their minds saying 2042 is awful. we're also one Call of Duty removed from everyone saying like, hey, this was actually pretty great and this felt new and refreshing and I'm excited for this thing, right? Like Black Ops 6 was considered a great Call of Duty. Battlefield 2042 was like, there's no returning from this. You guys forgot the scoreboard. Battlefield 6 takes over. People love it. It's the best-selling game of the year. And Call of Duty's down now. So they all go on their own roller coasters. And when we talk about like rocking the champ, it's not knocking them out. Like, I don't think there's a world where Call of Duty goes away. But what you're seeing is like, okay, they changed Game Pass in response to Call of Duty's lost sales. Now we're seeing the sales go down again, but the users could be up. Is Call of Duty making enough money where it's like, oh, they need to like get shit right, but the timeline for Call of Duty is so strict.
Yeah.
And they have these 3 teams on 3-year dev cycles. And it's like, now you're losing money. So, I mean, by the way, keep in mind, Xbox did gut some of these Activision studios as part of their layoffs. Mm-hmm. We could be seeing the ramifications of some of that, some of just the lost talent that's there, some of the confusion that's created. But as time goes on, really next year, I kind of consider it the most fully inherited Call of Duty yet for Xbox. That has to be like a show out Call of Duty, I think, of like their fingerprints in a good way, hopefully not the bad way, need to be just all over that. Because now if the money is coming in less, you got to shrink the budget. And you have tight timelines for COD. And it's like, COD doesn't need less budget. It's like $1 billion-something operation. Like, it needs to keep going. So, it losing any sort of money, I think, is scary. And this has really happened since the acquisition. So we'll see what happens. But Cog, we have this right in here from Zane. Curious as to your thoughts. He says, hey, Dukes, can we stop pretending campaign is a relevant part of the Call of Duty experience for a significant number of players in the modern era? According to the trophy stats, 15.5% of players completed the first mission of Black Ops 6's campaign on any difficulty. Why should the devs be putting development time into this mode when such a small portion of the player base even tries it? People in the industry seem to be playing the Black Ops 7 campaign and laughing at it, then writing off the multiplayer and zombie modes that the majority of the player base actually plays. If you haven't played Black Ops 7 multiplayer, you simply don't have enough experience to call the game bad. I love Black Ops 6's multiplayer, and I'm having a great time in Black Ops 7 too. Will either of the Dukes be giving Xbox's biggest multiplayer franchise a fair shake? Thanks, guys. I'm going to be honest, Zane, because we're having this honest conversation. I don't like this. I don't like the whole, you got to give it a fair shake. It's like, brother, I played the game, and I'll use my friend Ackman's comment again. I don't need to bend over and be like, yeah, that shit. Yeah. Okay. Like, I took away, like, I know what shit looks like. Yep, that shit. I played my hands a lot on Black Ops 6, but when it comes to Black Ops 7, the obvious stranglehold here is the same that happened to Halo, which is why I want to pass it to you, Cog, because I'm curious what you think, because I read something like this and I'm like, campaign isn't irrelevant because it matters. It's a measuring stick for everything else. They use the campaign assets to build the multiplayer shit. But also on top of that, like Halo got strangled, right? Because of Forge, campaign, multiplayer suite. You have to deliver all 3 of these. And here comes 343. And we know how the launch of Infinite went. Like, it starts with the campaign. And if that stumbles, and then the multiplayer support stumbles, it just all falls apart from there. But it's facing a similar issue in its kind of structure and its ability to uphold that. Where I think Call of Duty, my proposal was break off campaign and multiplayer into its own thing. Start a zombie series at this point. It's popular enough. People love it enough. Make a whole story mode out of it. Like, make zombies its own gaming franchise. I think it's kind of overdue. I think it's bigger than a mode for a lot of people now. And I look at it, I'm like, I don't think you could do all 3 of these at once really well like you once did. Because remember, zombies started off as like a arcade mode, and it became this story mode. It became more and more. I mean, again, I saw this great video essay. I forgot the name of the YouTuber, but it was talking to Treyarch and breaking down zombies. And you see even the transformation on like the UI front, and like how much more like it became waypoints and open world and just like crazier and crazier. It used to just be very simple. And I think that's why it was manageable. So I say all of that to put into perspective that, number one, I do think the campaign matters because it's a measuring stick for a lot of people. Like 15% of a Call of Duty player base is still millions of people, like under 5 million people. That's still a lot of your player base. And a lot of that player base, like I would consider myself one of those people, goes into multiplayer as well. So it all is an ecosystem. It's not something to be disregarded because we'd be sitting here talking about if Call of Duty lost like 5-6 million players, what that means for the franchise. So it's not something that you throw away because even though the percentage is low, compared to the overall player base, that's still a large chunk of players. But multiplayer is arguably up for debate, but I know zombies has been something that's considered by the community to have gotten worse over time as well. So I just think the entire experience for Call of Duty has been like inundated by the expectations of delivering these 3 pillars every time. And I just don't think they can do it as frequently, which is why, by the way, to your point, Zane, Black Ops 4 shows up, launches without the campaign.
I remember that.
And everyone hated that. And guess what they did? They brought back the campaign the next year. So
I remember
that was a time. But Cog, I'm curious as to your thoughts. Does campaign matter?
I think both of you are right. I think you're right in the sense that the general journalistic public, they will play the campaign, the casual will play the campaign, and a lot of people just check out after that. Like, let's say that 15%, right? There's still a lot of people, and then to Zane's point, the majority of the community, that 85% or whatever, is going to play the multiplayer, and they're going to play that consistently. I think to me the biggest issue here really has nothing to do with Call. I mean, it has something to do with Call, but it doesn't. It has something to do with because the campaign is considered not a great campaign. But the real issue is your competitor put out an amazing product that is better than your product. That's what the consensus. Battlefield 6 just seems to be that stronger. So yeah, it's tough because it's like to me, it's like football. It's like when you in football, you got to win in all 3 phases of the game. If you at least win 2 out of 3, you'll win the game with offense, defense, special teams, right? So for the most part, they've done that. They've got the zombies, they got multiplayer, or you want to consider Warzone or whatever it is, and they've usually dominated all 3. But it's a tough because Battlefield 6 is so good. In defense of Zane, I will say this. I have heard Battlefield 6's campaign, which I've not done, is not that great. Yeah. I heard that's not that great. And it didn't affect it. So it goes to show you if you just dominate one phase of the game, and the fact that it's next gen only, and I just think it's the Battlefield factor with all of this, man. It's just, if Battlefield 6 wasn't here, maybe we'd be conditioned to the assembly line a little bit less. But now you got this dope product. It's like, yo, guys, and you know how it is, word of mouth, the friends, hey, we're doing this, guys.
Yeah.
They like, oh yeah, playing Battlefield. All right, let me go pick that up. All right. Yeah. And then slowly that's where the bleed starts. So they got to be concerned. They've got to be concerned. But I understand your point. I don't think neither you're really wrong, because there's a good amount of people who play the campaign and say, yo, that's garbage. I'm good. Yeah. I don't need to see anymore. Yeah. So it is. They want to try to win on all phases. And I just hope, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm very, very curious to see what they do in response to this based on their development cycle and how Battlefield is structured. This is going to be very interesting. This next, a critical year for the next year. Yeah.
And just to throw in there on top of all of this, another reason why this stuff matters with like campaign and bleeds into multiplayer is, the generative AI assets being sold to you in multiplayer. That sours a lot of people, not just because like, oh, but AI bad, but it's also the company's lying to you. Like I said in my video about Call of Duty, I was like, if you like it, like Zane does, that's fine. I am not in agreement with your tastes at all. But like, if you like it, that's fine. But I don't think you should defend it, because you do deserve better. It's just that simple. If, like when you look at the comments by Mike Leslie about generative AI and saying how they swore AI content would never be in the game, and when it happened, it's an accident. Look, man, like I know, and I don't mean this like on creating a level between people, but like most people listening just play games. Few of them have worked in games. You don't accidentally put something like this forward facing in a game. It just it doesn't work that way. The amount of steps you have to go through, import the asset, set it up, and plug it in. It's a deliberate action. So when a company comes to you and is like, we accidentally had AI shit in here. What? Like, I get placeholders and stuff. Like, again, I'll look at Expedition, a game we love, where there was that telephone pole that had like a decal on it. I can understand forgetting, but saying, and by the way, in one small element, but accidentally packaging in, here's a bunch of different banners, all of them generated. Here's a zombies package from Black Ops 6 where you see him reaching out. He's got 6 fingers. Like, when you see all that shit, that's not an accident, guys. And that's my point, is that this all combines. It's not just campaign outrage. It is the laughingstock, no doubt, but it is the company's actions, and they're fucking terrible. Where even if you're out here and you're like, yeah, but the multiplayer, guys, it's like, it could be better. You could be treated better. they're taking advantage of you. And you should be aware of that. So with all due respect, Zane, I do disagree with you, but I understand what you are saying. So hopefully that gets across well. Appreciate you writing in and for the nice competitive conversation.
Yes.
Destiny 3, Cog, are they finally doing it? Colony Deeks has the report. He's a Destiny 2 data miner, and he's been accurate about some stuff in the past. So he writes, yes, Destiny 3 is in extremely early development. Some of you may have seen a tweet early this afternoon that mentioned that we've been sitting on this info for a few weeks now and wanted to wait to talk about this, seeing as it is in such an early state. And it just sucks to see others post about it carelessly for free internet points. We plan to share more info in the coming months as we wait on the larger scale things to develop and take shape. Sit tight. Og. We just saw PlayStation's comments. They are not happy about this Bungie acquisition. We know there's a pretty strong chance, though I won't say guaranteed, that Marathon comes out and does not do its thing. And by that point, Destiny 2 will have been abandoned and Marathon will have to be salvaged. Mm-hmm. So it seems like the only obvious choice for many of us was you have to do Destiny 3. Question is if they can hold on for that long. But Cog, how do you feel knowing it might be in the works? It's early, maybe in 5 years, 2030 Cog's playing a little Destiny 3, but what's the feeling right now?
So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need, man. Just give me a little flicker. Just give me a little flicker of hope, man. That's it. I mean, look, this is still a long shot. Let's be real. Obviously, I don't know. This leaker as well. I've been in the Destiny community for a wet minute, and I never heard of this guy. But after doing a little bit of research, there's some people that say there's some misses. There's some people that say there's been some hits. There's consistency. I don't know what to believe. I'm trying to get some more verified sources that I know of to confirm before I jump out the window. But if it is to be believed, I think this is what the call should have been from the beginning, right? Which is give us a Destiny 3. We've all felt that the story ended, after the final shape. Yeah. The question then becomes, because of Sony's comments and them professionally chastising value of Bungie as a studio as a whole, my concern is, will they even be in existence for this to happen? And that's the sobering reality I have to deal with, especially when Marathon is allegedly next up. So the last rumor was maybe by March of 2026, Marathon is supposed to come out, in a world where Arc Raiders is definitely dominating. It doesn't seem very promising right now until we see more from Marathon and when they go back in the trenches and re-update. But I hope so. I just hope so. I mean, my best case scenario is I don't want any game to get canceled or anything like that. But if Sony decided to say, hey, this ain't working out based on what you're showing us with Marathon internally, we don't feel confident about the product. It's either one or two scenarios can happen. If it's either that, and they shut that down and say, hey, all resources towards this thing. And you take 5 years and then we come out next gen PS6, Xbox Magnus, whatever, and on PC, it'll definitely, if it does exist, it will definitely be a multi-platform. Yeah, those days, some exclusive is over, or especially with live service. But yeah, that's one scenario. Or scenario two, which is the very unlikely but could happen, which is Marathon comes out, it's actually solid. They get something out of it. They say, okay, we'll give you the green light to go forward with a Destiny 3. We're going to have more control over you, though. The way you do things, because we're absorbing a lot. And that's the only thing. I'm just happy that this rumor exists, just for the simple fact, because this is what's supposed to happen. They took their eye off the ball. Destiny 2 was the moneymaker. They took it off. Their eyes got too big. They did all these projects, Gummy Bear, all this stuff. And the sad thing, by doing all this, now you got the mobile game being better than your main game. That's a bad look. The NetEase game, the Destiny Rising mobile game, everyone's telling me is super lit. And my beloved Destiny. So we'll see. I know they got Renegades.
76 vibe right there for you, Kyle.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it, bro.
You're like, I guess I'll play it.
I'll play Renegades. I heard it had a decent trailer. I mean, I saw a little bit of it. Look cool. I'll jump in just to see what's going on. Right. Yeah. I forgot my homegirls. I will say there's one person that they have left on the current team. Oh my God, I forget her name. She's the narrative lead for Bungie right now. This woman has so much energy. I love this woman. Like, she can tell a story. You could tell she loves writing narrative. And she's in all the Bungie trailers. I'm pulling for her because she seems very excited about this. So we'll see. We'll give it a shot. I will be there till the wheels fall off. But please, we want to sunset this bad boy eventually. And let's get to Destiny 3. Oh, that's what I want.
I agree. All right, Cog. Well, let's talk about a very crazy week in the world of Ubisoft. All of these could be their own separate topics, but I figured let's just throw it under the umbrella and just go through it one by one. Some of these in groups. For example, Ubisoft had their financial reports. This is important to note because we mentioned last week how their numbers were halted and everyone thought, uh-oh, are they selling off? What happened here? They said the delay was an accounting issue and it was not because of an acquisition. So they did comment on that. But what they did report was better than expected financial results. They say year over year, Ubisoft's net bookings in half year or H1 fiscal year increased 20%, soaring 772 million euros. Sorry, digital revenue made up a huge chunk, with the vertical also seeing a 30% increase, and their recurring player investment soared 52% as well. So their year over year investment is great. They said outperformance driven by stronger than expected partnerships, demonstrating the power and attractiveness of the group's portfolio, as well as a meaningful contribution from live TV and the animated series. Excluding partnerships, back catalog was robust and in line with expectations, but marked by contrasted dynamics. And on top of that, they confirmed that Assassin's Creed Mirage hit 10 million players, which synchronized with its Valley of Memory update. Meanwhile, though, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they've been a little bit less clear on, which I wanted to emphasize not as sort of a dunking on the game, which I know happens a lot with it, but more so because I did see a lot of misreporting about this, that people conflated the two. Like Assassin's Creed as a whole is doing really well, which I'm sure it is, but I do think Ubisoft has had a tough time reading Shadow's level of success based on their expectations. IGN writes, on the performance of Assassin's Creed Shadows, the franchise's blockbuster feudal Japan entry launched in March, Ubisoft was less clear. Without providing a new sales total, Ubisoft simply said the game had benefited from the launch of New Game Plus mode and the recent Claws of Awaji expansion, which seems obvious. The company then pointed to the game's upcoming Switch 2 launch as an opportunity for it to reach a broader audience. Otherwise, back in July, Ubisoft said Shadows had surpassed 5 million players and that its performance had been in line with its expectations. So right now they're talking Mirage. Mirage is up 10 million players, but they're really kind of cagey about Shadows, where it's not been confirmed. Not saying it's doing bad, but it's not been confirmed. Like some have reported that this is doing extremely well, or that Ubisoft is fully happy with it. Just it's in line with expectations. Which again, I think it's a tricky one for them to kind of gauge, because I'm sure it is doing well. It is selling well. We've seen the MPD charts. At the same time,
right,
you also have, this is Japan Assassin's Creed, right? Like this is the one. This was supposed to be bigger than big, like a takeover. So for them, it's probably like, could this have been more? I mean, it's doing all right, but like what are we doing next? That's going to be like, this was supposed to be the peak of the franchise. When you think of what it started, this is where everyone's head went. So to round that part out, and then we'll talk more Ubisoft stuff in a little bit. Assassin's Creed Shadows is getting Attack on Titan DLC. And we did have a write about it. Neighbor says, Maddie, Assassin's Creed announced a new Attack on Titan collab DLC. Are you in? Neighbor, you know me well enough. You know the answer. I'm not in. You not in? No, dude. I think AOT collabs have been the weirdest thing, because I love AOT so much, but like they put them in Call of Duty. Now it's in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm like, I need something more synergistic, man. This makes no sense. But also,
how hardcore fan are you?
I don't like Assassin's Creed Shadows enough to play it for Attack on Titan DLC. I mean, we're talking about a game I got 15 hours into and said, like that was a business decision. I was like, I'm good. I'll just play this. I've played this before. All right, Cox. So before we get to the rest of Ubisoft news, what do you make of their current financial makeup here? Doing better than expected in some areas, not selling off, at least not yet. Mirage doing well, Shadows a little less clear. How are we feeling?
I mean, I guess it's a net positive for them that they're doing overall better than, we thought they may be. Obviously with the Tencent stuff, that was looming and everything with the investment that they were doing. Obviously, Mirage was, definitely surprised. I was like, okay, that didn't see that coming. The Shadows things is definitely unclear. I think that, like, this is how I got to look at it. I just got to be honest. Like, Assassin's Creed, regardless to how we feel about it in the past, has been a pillar for them, right? It's always been a dominant sales pillar. We used to see that, when I look at like Matt Piscatella's data with the year to date, Assassin's Creed used to be up there all the time. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at that list that when we looked on the Battlefield, it's not in the top 20. So I got to look at that as a multi-platform game that is literally their core pillar franchise, right? And we've got all these other games. I mean, we got Yota, we got at 10, which is, again, impressive for a, single platform release. You know what I'm saying? That's super impressive. Surprising, Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? So what did they say? They said it sold 5 million. They said it surpassed 5 million players. Right?
Yeah.
We ain't hear the number of sales.
Ubisoft Plus, where you can that's like Game Pass basically.
Right. And now I know the Switch 2, they're hoping they'll get a nice little bump from there, hopefully some type of Cyberpunk effect. But we just got to be real. It can't have been, it couldn't have been as great as they would have hoped, in my opinion. I could only go by the 2025 year to date. That game came out, March?
Yes.
It's not on the top 20 of the whole year for sales. Assassin's Creed. So I have to look at that as way lower than. Well. Yeah, exactly. Number 20 is Helldivers 2 that came out on Xbox this year. Right? It wasn't a new release game. Yeah. It just came out and it made the top 20. That tells me a lot.
You kind of flipped the script for me. I'm like, I was a little more open-minded to it being like it did all right, but this doesn't sound good at all.
Yeah, I look at year to date. That's how a lot. Year to date tells me a lot. Forza Horizon 5, which just came to PlayStation this year. That's all it did.
That sold a couple million. So that means that there's a chance that this sold like 1.5 mil.
Two Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We got the numbers just recently, didn't it? Wow. They sell 4. To 4. They just put out that they did.
Oliver put out the most incredible flex too. The game's director. He said, let's see here. Today I found out the game I created, Locke said this to me, the games that I created and worked on as a director sold 25 to 30 million copies. The Kingdom Come Deliverance series sold more than 14 million copies alone.
Yeah, he's flex. He outside. You already know. Yeah, man, we're assuming based on the data we have, and it's less than that. That's what I can only deduce, and they can't necessarily be had. That's why I think they're trying to get that Switch 2 port out as quickly as possible, try to get something there and see what's up. So yeah, I mean, overall, as a company, yes, net positive. They're better than what I thought they were going to be. But as far as Assassin's Creed Shadows, I would have to look at that internally. They may be disappointed on what they, again, like we said, Japan is supposed to be the slam dunk, the get out of jail free card, the easy layup. This is what you do when you struggling. And yeah, I would assume, bro, Ghost of Yotai is on one platform.
Yeah.
It's number 10. It only came out when?
My guess is that
2 months ago?
Ubisoft probably adjusted their expectations as they delayed the game. Like, I think they had to just completely look at it differently. I mean, the hate campaign for the game was wild. And they stepped on a million landmines leading into that launch that made things even worse. And the game wasn't very good, as for me at least, it wasn't very good. And you kind of mix all of that together, and it's like they probably had to just read the room and be like, yeah, this is supposed to be the big one, but like it's just going to do average, maybe. A lot of people have tried to soften the critique of the sales around the game as well, being like, oh, well, Valhalla was like a cross-gen title, COVID time, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, I get that like reaching Valhalla's heights is tough, but I think people are really underselling the generational weight that was Assassin's Creed in Japan.
Yes, that's how I look at them. Yeah. I look at them as one of those, iconic thing. Like they used to move. We have to pull up the older day. I got to find the older day, but I remember them as like, you know, when an Assassin's Creed new title come, it's a year to date kind of title. I got to pull up older year to date. I don't ever remember not seeing
AC has always been in that mix, no doubt about it. But yeah, the data you provided, given that we know some of the Helldivers stats and other stats in the year, like Yote, and there's no year to date for Shadows, definitely says sub 2 million, like almost a guarantee.
That's what it kind of sells to me. You know, it's definitely something. Like I said, for something that their pillar franchise. Remember, they were coming out with the initiative. Remember, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna make more Assassin's Creed. Our focus is gonna be that," because that was always the slam dunk. That was such the easy money get for them. And I was just like, all right, they're gonna do what I get. Why they doing it? You know, whatever. But yeah, this has to be, you know, something that concerning for them. You know, long term.
It bums me out because them as a publisher. So I made a video on Retro Rebound talking about going back to the PS3 and COG. Of course, I showed you this game, but for those who are our video viewers, of course, Ghost Recon Future Soldier. It's so easy to hate on Ubisoft nowadays, and I get it. And some people do it for disingenuous reasons, but the reality is, unfortunately, in the midst of all of that, they're not as good of a publisher as they used to be. But there was a secret sauce to their games, dude. I remember a decade or so ago, anything Ubisoft, it was on site. And I don't care if that makes me sound like whatever to people, but like they used to make some of like the games I looked forward to so much. And to see it kind of where it is now, I go through this weird cycle with them it kind of transitions well into what we're about to talk about, where I see the game names on paper, like what they're doing. I'm like, dude, like this could be the bounce back. But that just era of Ubisoft published games, it makes me sad when we talk about them because I'm just like, wow, I don't think I understood how much I valued this publisher until they completely lost their way.
I know.
And so, you know, something like AC Shadows was a dream game, and to play it for 10 hours and put it down and be like, Yote, whenever I got time for you, you're up. Like that was a crazy moment. So let's transition a little bit here, Cog.
Yeah.
We have two reports, both from Insider Gaming. One of their reports is that Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake, the one that was like announced 5 years ago and then disappeared, will actually be out in a little bit over a month, Cog, mid-January 2026. But don't worry, you won't have to wait long to see this one, as the reveal is happening at the Game Awards. And there was already a little bit of a leak from an older build that people could see online. A pitch deck for the game leaked as well. Kind of crazy to see. But that was all out from a 2023 build, to my understanding. But Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake is on the way, and it looks like maybe Bethesda might have rubbed Ubisoft in a certain direction here by saying like, oh, this kind of remake remaster thing that was shadow dropped by Bethesda did really well. What if we announced it and said it's coming out next month and didn't put much money into the marketing and see how it does? I mean, Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown sold over 1 million copies, and that's pretty good for like a 2D Metroidvania title. But unfortunately, Ubisoft did not see that as good enough, and so they disbanded that team. But Prince of Persia is still somewhat relevant nowadays, so I'll be keen to see how that does. But before we get into the next title plan for Ubisoft in the first quarter of next year, what do you make of this, Cog? Do you look at this and go, ooh, I will be there? Were you much of a Prince of Persia guy growing up?
The original. I remember.
The original.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That game was transformative. I remember Solve brought it over. And I was like, what's this game? So was he going so crazy about it? I remember he threw it on. I was just like, I've never seen animation like that. And I remember, the hopping and grabbing and the ledges and the traps and then you had your sword fights and part of it. And I was just like, oh, this is a unique, cool game. Difficult, challenging, but good. And I definitely I really fell in love with it. So yeah, Prince of Persia is definitely something I follow. Remake one of those classics. Yeah. I will definitely pay attention to see what's going on. But yeah, that was a game Solve educated me on, and I was so glad. I was like, man, this is one of those, for its time, it was transformative in animation, difficulty, puzzle. There was nothing like it. And I was just like, and then obviously the newer version that like when it came out was really good. Yeah. I'll be definitely seeing what's going on with the Purge.
It's one of those things where I like see it on paper and I'm like, yes, like they have the right idea. Like this is exciting. Like I get to play this thing I've been waiting for next month because I grew up playing Prince of Persia and I remember that transition into Assassin's Creed. Like Assassin's Creed started off as a Prince of Persia spinoff, and that's why it shares. If you play like Warrior Within or whatever, you'll see a lot of like the family of animations that are in the Assassin's Creed games started here. And I wonder if history is going to repeat itself a little bit. Like Ubisoft is like, we saw them get a little tricky already, right? As we'll talk about with this Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, where they use the Skull and Bones stuff to kind of just propel that remake forward. So I wonder if Ubisoft's going to use Prince of Persia once more to kind of propel anything Assassin's Creed forward once more.
Interesting.
It'd be very interesting to see. But, naively so, I am excited. I do hope this is great because I have awesome memories of the first game in that trilogy. And Yuri Lowenthal was a great prince. I'm curious if they'll bring him back. I get a feeling they probably won't. Probably do something more. I don't mean this in a negative way, but knowing Ubisoft, they will do something more culturally appropriate.
Yeah.
The prince was a little out of pocket with some of his dialogue, and so I can see a world where that'll be a whole assessment unto itself.
Yes,
but I'll be interested to see how it's all handled, how it's all received. But I hope it's great, and it just kind of restores that level of like, oh yeah, they can deliver. But
yeah,
we'll see. But we won't have to wait long to see it and then play it. So I'm excited for that. I can kind of mark that on my calendar. It's probably the first big game next year I'll play. Now, meanwhile, Cog, another report came out from Insider Gaming. We've long heard of this Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. When's it happening? Is it happening? Well, now we have a launch window. Insider Gaming says it'll launch before March 31st, 2026. So a busy start to the new year for Ubisoft. Cog, your thoughts on this one? Will you be making time for the Black Flag remake?
Not I. I'm not. Not the Black Flag. But shout out to that community though. This is a loyal community. I know people go hard for Black Flag.
One of the best.
Yeah. So I didn't play it. I don't want to be disrespectful. It's just that during this period.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did. I was
rewinding real quick. Hang on. You haven't played it and you're not going to play the remake.
I was boycotting Assassin's Creed during this period.
Oh.
My thing was, remember, this was when they became very popular and bombastic, but they got away from what I liked Assassin's Creed from. Like, I'm this. Yeah. This is Assassin's Creed to me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yo-yo-ho and a bottle of rum wasn't in my assassins don't do that.
Yeah, I get you.
Respectfully though,
real quick, I gotta go down this timeline. Was Unity like your moment of like, return to form?
Attic was the one. I was like, okay, there we go.
Yeah, Unity was.
Thank you for putting me. Unity. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel you. All right,
and they did co-op amazing. Great game.
Underrated.
Our friendship started off of that game. Unity and Destiny 2.
That was a trade-off. Yeah. Ultimate trade deal.
Straight up. So I was like, but then they did this, and it sucked for me because I'm like, I can't get mad at them because look how popular this is.
Like it survived all the scrutiny.
It's the opposite flannel approach. When I loved it, it was like it wasn't popping. Right? Yeah. It was like, okay, this is cool, but it wasn't massive. Soon as everybody else loved it, they start doing stuff I don't like. I'm like, damn, but everybody loves it now. So I was like, I'm stuck. So this happens to me often. This also happened to me with Titanfall, which was like, all right, boom, Titanfall, yes, let's go. Here comes Apex. Yeah, Apex.
Oh man, yeah, that one's cold.
I'm like, I'm never getting Titanfall now. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. But now, shout out to the Black Flag community though. I have never seen this particular Assassin's Creed people go so hard for this joint. So I know y'all get what y'all want. And I'm happy for them. I legit am because I know they want this. And yeah, this is a big deal. So if that's coming in March, March heating up because you got that. And then a couple other games.
I just looked at it. Crimson Desert.
Marathon. You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, hopefully there's no other live service around when they drop. But yeah, it looks like everybody trying to get out, especially now that GTA is kind of out of the March to May window.
Yeah, I think everyone's just going to try to like shove shit out before in the front half of the year. I think it's going to be busier in the second half. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Provided GTA sticks to their date.
Yeah, provided. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I can't imagine a Black Flag remake in my head. It's the same thing as Halo Combat or campaign evolved, like there was all that talk of like a Halo remake and Unreal Engine. I'm like, I can't visualize in my head what that looks like, because I think of the characters and how they looked in Assassin's Creed, like in those early 2010s Assassin's Creeds. And they were like this weird mixture of like, you're still a video game character model, but you look close enough to real for me to buy in. But like, obviously we've chased this photorealism in gaming where I'm like, how's it going to look with like really distinct looking character models? So I can't get that image in my head right. And then I'm also thinking about my biggest fear that I'll try to stay open-minded about is them RPGifying that game. Because one thing that I think I was championing this was when Assassin's Creed Odyssey was coming around. I was like, let them cook. And I think they cooked. I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I heard great things.
I love Odyssey. I think that game has aged well, although
I was tempted on that one.
It's bloated. It's the precursor to the Valhalla issue. So it's kind of like it gets a lot of the smoke for starting the whole like level gating and making things really big. But like I beat that game in like 40 hours. So I don't know, compared to Valhalla, which took me like 100.
Bro,
Valhalla's a big game.
Bro, I was disgusted when I heard how long it took people to beat. I was like, I'm good.
Too big. Yeah. They wanted you to get your money's worth. That's actually one of the reasons growing up I loved Ubisoft games is I got my money's worth.
Oh, facts.
Like I knew when I spent 60, I was like, I'm covered for a while. I just don't think they handle it as well now. But that I championed the whole idea of like going RPG with Assassin's Creed. But then like I just didn't do anything more interesting with it. They kind of just made like this stat grindy, hack and slash looter kind of game. I'm like, that's not really Assassin's Creed now. And now they're about to probably inject all that into a pirate game. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious to see how far they carried it, or if it's kind of like Oblivion coded, like safe remake. Because Ubisoft doesn't scream to me as risky, and I feel like, pardon the pun, but don't rock the boat here. Like this is an easy win. Let people remember why they love you.
Facts.
And to round out this crazy week, Cog, we even got an update on Far Cry. It's getting a TV show at FX, and this is from Noah Hawley and Rob Mack. Now, if you want anything recently to go off of, Hawley is the creator of Fargo as well as Alien Earth, both of which I know are quite beloved. So this is actually some pretty serious talent behind. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Fallout, where I looked at it and I went, all right. But then you look at the talent and you go, I have no reason to think this will be bad. I don't know if I like Far Cry enough for a TV show personally, but I'm rooting for it. I hope it does well. But your thoughts on this, Cog? Would you sit down for a little Far Cry TV show?
Same. Yeah. I mean,
I know Colin would.
Yeah, that's who I'm concerned. I'm curious how Colin feels about this. We know how much Cobra Commander loves his Far Cry. Yeah, it's one of those things that if they land it, that may get me to be interested in the series. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, FX is an interesting choice. But like you said, based on the clientele they got involved, seems like they got some quality there. So keep my eye open, see what's going on.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from Ubisoft, Cog. You guys want to hear me get emotional? Yeah. Now I'll get emotional. Okay. I was ranting on Twitter about this. Like, I haven't done that in a while. I usually keep to myself, like, putting that shit out there on Twitter. I'm just inviting like people to be angry. And oh God, dude, this news fired me up. Bro. All right. The IGN write-up. Let's read it. Sources told The Hollywood Reporter that Paramount has ditched the R-rated Last Ronin live-action animation hybrid movie and is now going to focus on a live-action movie. The sequel to Mutant Mayhem, by the way, is still due September 17th, 2027. So for those who don't know, Last Ronin is the Book of the Dukes. It's one of our favorites. And, there's a second one out now if anyone wants to go ahead and check that out. Right now, it seems like your only hope of experiencing Last Ronin is in a video game, which is we've not gotten an update on in quite some time. It's from the team that remade both Destroy All Humans games. And then while Embracer was going through and killing its studios off, they laid off half of that team. So I'm not really holding out hope for that game either. But the reason that they scrapped this, right? The reason that they said, we're not interested in in a TMNT Last Ronin thing is because they want to Sonic-fy, the franchise. So, given the immense success, the Sonic trilogy, now quadrology, whatever they call it, 4 entries, that it is seen or is going to see. TMNT, and of course this is Paramount, right? So Paramount's like deeply connected. So they're like, oh yeah, like why don't we just do this with the Ninja Turtles? And so they cancel this movie. And my take is this: if I'm trying to stay level-headed, it's like I don't think these two need to trade off. There's that. 2, Mutant Mayhem exists and did really well. What do we like? There's your fucking Sonic. But no, now they need to shut down the live-action Last Ronin film to instead make another kid-friendly live-action trilogy, which TMNT in live-action does have really with the original, a good history. That original movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I don't look at this news and go like, oh my God, they're giving me something that reminds me of something I love. But the thing that longtime Turtle fans have wanted is something new. And the reason there's been such a rallying force, when have we seen this before, where there was such a rally around a comic book like this, that casuals started to hear about it, and that led to a game being made, and that led to a movie being greenlit. That was a new type of movement. And all this reeks of the Sonic-fy, the franchise and whatnot, just it smells like a new suit came in the room and said, guys, what are we doing here? There's money to be made. And there's some truth to that. But again, when you want to make something like Sonic, I'm like, Mutant Mayhem's right there. And it did well. Like the formula is there. People love those turtles. It did well in the box office. It's relevant to adults and kids. Even if I really wrestle with the design of everything in that movie, I get it though. It's successful. There's a lot of love for that thing. That's your Sonic thing. But like now they want to do like the mixture of like live action and cartoon and all this stuff with Ninja Turtles. And so it's like that trade-off. I'm happy to see the TMNT brand alive and well. They've been outside in the 2020s. And I don't forget that 2010 stretch where all I had were some Michael Bay movies to keep me alive here. It was fucking terrible, dude. So at least I know they're investing in it. And I love my Ninja Turtles. I'll be in the theater no matter what. But man, I just read this and I just think to myself, like, we'll never get anything different. This was the one chance to break through. And the franchise is so big. It's been going on for like 35 years, more than that. And it's been going on for so long. And this was a moment where it was like, hey, man, this franchise has young fans and it also has older generational fans that there are plenty of. What if we did this? And it felt like all sides of the fan base are being heard because you had the small pixel art games, but then you get the greenlit AAA Last Ronin game. It's like, oh my God, they're doing everything. So the only thing, Cog, that is a positive potential takeaway from this is that if they are going full Sonic, full big screen, Ninja Turtles are popping, my hope is that the same thing happens in the Ninja Turtle games that happen with the Sonic games. Sonic games with Frontiers. Frontiers is not perfect. It's flawed in a lot of ways, but it got an injection of life in it. They took some risk and said, like, we know y'all are about this life. Where before that, Sonic was kind of like putting out forces, big stinkers. TMNT's been on the rise. A lot of great games from this franchise, but they haven't taken that big swing ever. I wonder with the popularity if they'll greenlight something that is very ambitious finally, like the open world TMNT game that we're all looking for. Right now, the only way we're getting that is through VR, which doesn't look bad, but it's just like we want a console AAA TMNT game. I don't think I'm asking for the world here. Arkham style combat would be me asking for the world here. All right. So yeah, man, it just like upsets me. Your thoughts on this?
Better say, Bo, brother, I'll pour one out, man. This hurt. This really hurt me because I owe you my Duke brethren. Like, I didn't know about the Last Ronin story. And man, he goes, bro, get this book. Man, I dove in that thing cover to cover.
Yes.
And I'm like, man, this is powerful. And it was such a refreshing take. Mature, refreshing, dark. And look, I get it. I get corporate saying, yo, what are we doing? We're for the kids, right? This is what we do. We get the most money for the kids. But at some point, how many of these are you going to do? And why is this stuck in this mode. It's like when you look at other things, we look at like even Batman, like you've experimented. We've done dark now, right? And you can serve both audiences. So to me, this is just very narrow thinking. It's like, at least try it to see. First of all, the book has such a ravenous base and communication around it that it spawned it for a reason. So it just frustrating to see that this can't get off the ground. Like there's no way that this will work. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. I just hate that type of a close. You can do two things. Yeah. You can.
It's just from the originals, dude. Eastman and Laird. Like, that's the crazy part. It's from the originals. It spawned an action figure line, too. Like, it just had a movement unlike anything else Ninja Turtles has had before. So the fact that they're like, stop, let's redo what we're already basically doing in Mutant Mayhem. I'm just like...
Exactly. And what's pissing me off is this is, to me, the dumbest decision is that, because I'm Gen X, you're considered what, millennial? What are you considered?
Yeah, millennial.
You're millennial. All right. So we have the most spending power. We remember this at its peak and what it means. We will buy and then get the youngins to say, yo, you want to see a little gritty version? You want to know what happened years later?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the big thing about that is the comics have always been a lot more gritty than what has been on television. But also some of the TV renditions, in particular, my favorite rendition is the 2003 era of the Ninja Turtles, was a lot more serious. And like, I grew up watching, like, there's an episode where all turtles die except one of them. And it like fucked me up, but it was awesome. You know, like that is what that era of like Turtles brought to the table. And it's never been a stranger to that edge. The 2007, I think it was, animated movie where like Raph and Leo fight on the rooftop in the rain. That shit's like epic and brutal and grueling, like Raph being angry and beating the shit out of people on the streets. Like that movie goes hard. Like, so this whole like, and that was popular. So this whole like for the kids thing doesn't like, it doesn't work with TMNT because it's not justifiable.
I 100% agree. And this is where it's like, it reminds me as me growing up as a G1 Transformers fan, when the movie came out and Optimus Prime died. Yeah, I was messed up. I was tearing like a baby. But I needed that. Like, you need these moments to grow, and you go, "Oh wow, this is real out here." Yeah. They won't be tuned in next week because you're gonna laugh it off and give a public commercial at the end for kids. No, you people are losing their life. This is a war. That's all we wanted. We need that level to show that the different shade of gray. Like, that's what pisses me off. And to say Sonic vibe, like, bro, you're just catching a wave. You're catching a bag. I get it. It just sucks that as great as this franchise is, they're trying to stick it and keep it one place and regurgitate kid over and over. These kids will grow up. You got to show them what the real world is.
It feels like, sincerely, how I felt when I read this news is like, okay, I'm 30 now. It felt like we were at the beginning of a new loop, but they're repeating that loop. So that means by the time I'm in my 60s, I might see this mature take on the Ninja Turtles. That's fucking crazy.
Bro, and now we gotta hope this game comes out now.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Which I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I really don't have a lot of faith in with Embracer and how they're moving. They like just offloaded a couple other studios, like the developer behind what's that third person shooter, the Revenant series. They offloaded them. Like they're keeping the IP and letting THQ Nordic handle it. So I'm just looking at, I'm like, that company's not in like any better of a spot. They're still trimming down. And I imagine they're looking at TMNT going, oh, and they canceled the movie?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so could you imagine, bro?
Yeah, not to cut you, but could you imagine if the movie was still coming out and you got the game, now you've got the transmedia put like, bro.
It felt like it was someone's vision that they put into place and someone else came in and was like, nah, I didn't green like that. You know what? Because I've heard this term in sports a lot, right? Like, we didn't get to talk about it. Nimmo getting traded, bro. Man, that hurt. But a lot of the assessments I was hearing was like, well, that wasn't Stern's contract. He didn't sign that. And I feel like that's kind of the case happening here. 100%. Like that was his plan.
Yes.
Or her plan. This is my plan to make TMNT big in the 2020s.
New GM, I get my own coach, my own players. So what? They're successful. So what? We got this ravenous following, these books, these comics, and everyone's wanting this thing. That's not what I was here for. Let's get back to the kids. And I'm like, come on, bro.
Thank you for tolerating my rant. Okay.
I needed it.
This next one we can go through pretty quickly here because a lot of it is visualized, but I just wanted to create some awareness around it, right? We heard about this story claiming Rockstar is doing some union busting. They fired a bunch of people who were organizing a union. There's still protests outside the Take-Two office. A YouTube channel called People Make Games made a video called The Messages Rockstar Saw Before Firing 34 Union Members. And they recreate these messages in a more artistic way that you can see. But basically what they highlight as where Rockstar felt that they had to step into that union server and thought that their guidelines were broken was someone shared Slack guidelines that Rockstar management had sent out. So the well goes a bit deeper, but a lot of people see this as a still clear case of union busting by Rockstar and that there was potentially a kind of double agent inside this chat that like leaked this and like went to someone in Rockstar and let them know what was happening here. So I don't know, man. I look at this type of stuff and I know Rockstar's a much bigger team than 34 people. And I don't think it means like GTA 6 is going to suck or anything, but I look at this and I go, this is very problematic. Like this is not bad. This is not a good thing at all. And I wonder how it impacts the overall team morale, especially if the project keeps getting delayed, et cetera, et cetera. But I just want to make people aware of this because again, it was really Slack guidelines being shared. Which doesn't seem very extreme, but nonetheless, Cog, any takes on this information here?
Yeah, this is developing and it's heating up. These UK these protests are no joke. It's intensifying. They feel like they didn't do anything wrong, and then obviously as a person who's been in corporate and used Slack before, if that is to be true, that it was just guidelines being shared, that's gonna be a problem. Look, they better hope it's not union busting. Like this could get messy. This could get really messy, but I don't know what to think of what the result is going to be. I'm curious what the result is going to be if this gets legal. What's going to happen? I'm very curious about this. And to your point, this is not the thing Rockstar really wants coming into literally the biggest launch of the game. And again, this may not even affect the gamers, might not care about what's going on, but it is something to pay attention. It is something to pay attention, especially if union busting and stuff comes out to be 100% accurate. So I will be monitoring the situation.
Indeed. Let's talk about Intergalatic, the Heretic Prophet. Our man, Colin Moriarty, was chatting a bit about this game. He was guesting on a show. Insider Gaming, love your site, but kind of blew up my man's spot when he was just doing a little innocent speculation and turned it into a full report, which netted Colin a lot of harassment. So do better on that front. Felt bad for him for that, especially because Schreier then stepped outside. I was like, yeah, it's not happening. So what's that? What did happen here? Colin was speculating that it's possible that with how the project he heard was going well, that it could come out next year. It's possible that we see it at the Game Awards. He doesn't really know. But now we have a statement from Jason Schreier that the game is not coming out next year. So if anyone is wondering where Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet is at, you are not going to see it at the Game Awards and you are not going to see it next year at all. So I imagine what this game will sort of shape up to be is what The Last of Us 1 did for the PS3 and kind of serve as the swan song to the PS5 generation. And I think that's a pretty sweet way to go out. New IP from Naughty Dog, just like last time. So I think that is kind of exciting. But I'm curious as to your take on this, Cog. Are you surprised by this? And also, are you willing to wait this long for Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet? Where are you at with Naughty Dog, right? The just one connoisseur.
I mean, like those guys, quality, man. I like Mr. Druckmann, saying, get a chance to meet the legend himself and obviously listen to Colin, sit down and talk to him is always refreshing. I do feel for Colin on this one because again, he and, who gets caught with this Jez a lot too, where it's like, they're just talking in a speculative fashion. They're not saying, hey, for sure. And then they get, scooped up and stuff. So I know Insider Gaming is, a little thirst on that one, but in their defense, they did correct. I checked the link. And when Colin put out the tweet, because he was very emotional, like, hey, this is the type of stuff that I get attacked in like I'm, sourcing as 100%, statement. And now I'm going to get a needless harassment and drag for this unnecessarily. And I'm tired of it. I'm glad he put out that statement, and I'm glad Insider Gaming, who I got a great relationship with, and Tom and those guys went and they corrected the article, because a lot of times people will leave that up for the clout and won't change nothing. So they did do that. So shout out to both parties, and hopefully that'll clear that up. You know, as far as waiting long, look, I'm not surprised. I mean, we've had this discussion before when, even though Naughty Dog wasn't exactly like the other PlayStation studios with the 10 live service game thing, you know, one thing that I did think about was the factions thing that never came out for them. I'm just curious with what I consider the PlayStation Studios reset button, which is all these things that now got canceled. Remember with the Blue Point, and it was this live service and God War live service, all this, right? So now all that's scrapped, which means reset, which means now, you know, now these projects are going to take long. And now let's be honest, this is seeming like PS6 stuff, right? At this point. So that's the reality, as far as the, and in conjunction with what I consider the output. You know, now we know, obviously, Ghost Yotai, Death Stranding, they did, Hiroki Toki did kind of say, hey, we're kind of giving you guys 1 to 2 of these major titles per year moving forward. Don't get used to the 4 or 5 of these kind of things, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, look, I would love to see what Intergalactic is going to do. And obviously Neil's a legend, and Naughty Dog, the highest of quality, one of the best studios in the business. So it's going to be a while. It's going to be, I'm not surprised.
I can see this being a PS6 launch game.
Yeah. This is right around that window. Hopefully, maybe at most, maybe year 2 if he needs more time. Yeah, you know, kind of thing. But that we just got to. That's the new reality right now as far as PlayStation.
I'm excited for it though. Them kind of going more sci-fi. I'm very keen on that. So we'll see where it ends up. Sticking with PlayStation Aligned titles, Stellar Blade. Its sequel will be multi-platform, according to a Shift Up recruitment post, which says that they are looking for people who can help make the next entry on consoles and PC. So there you go. They're going multi-platform as well, which Shift Up has publicly indicated multiple times before. But still good to hear, because Stellar Blade got a huge second wind on PC. When it came out on PC, I did really well there. So no doubt they feel very motivated to go and be everywhere. And I think Stellar Blade 2 will be, I mean, the first one was very big, but I think this sequel will be huge and resonate with a lot of people. So any thoughts on this one, Cog?
Yeah, just kind of the theme of what I've been saying before. The window of the timed exclusive, you know, is shortening, and we've already said it before multiple times ad nauseum. People want their games everywhere. Developers want their games everywhere because they want to make money. That's literally all this is.
All right. Well, you know who wants money is Hideo Kojima, and that's beyond the Disney Plus partnership. He wants to bring you Death Stranding 2 on the beach to PC. And it was found that it was rated on the Entertainment Software's rating board. So keep an eye out. An announcement is likely imminent, and Keeleys are coming up, man. So I got to imagine a little pre-show announcement or something along those lines here. But Death Stranding 2 coming to PC. Curious if it's going to be another 5-year wait for Xbox fans. Again, I don't expect an Xbox announcement soon, but PC at least coming pretty soon. And excited to get back to this one eventually and finish it, though. I think it'll be a while for me just because of what I promised myself after Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And that's only become more and more solidified as I get deeper in that game. I'm like, I need a short game.
Yes.
Anyway, your take, Cog, on the PC port for Death Stranding 2.
Much shorter window than I thought, to be honest. Like this game just came out in July, right? When did it come out? June.
End of June. Basically July. It was pretty close.
Yeah, June, July. Like, bro, this is not that long.
No,
not that long. So I am curious of one thing, though. Remember last time, I don't know if 505 did the publishing and that thing snuck out on PC Game Pass or whatever it is. I am very curious. I mean, it wasn't Game Pass, maybe it just snuck out in general, you know what I'm saying, through 505 publishing or whatever. I'm curious if that loophole still exists. Yeah. I don't know if Kojima is doing that kind of thing. But I would assume. And I'm also curious about the level of exclusivity that PlayStation has with it in terms of when it can come to other consoles, Xbox / Switch too. So that I'm very curious. But yeah, this is a very quicker turnaround than I expected on PC.
I agree. Good to see though. For those of you looking forward to the Game Awards, we already have a confirmation of a game that'll be there, and it's one of my most anticipated. I'm hoping we get a release date. I called my shot about this a couple of months ago. I said, I feel like this is when we're going to get a release date. Exodus. This is coming from a lot of my former KOTOR workers, and they're working on what looks to be the next Mass Effect. If you want to cross Mass Effect with Interstellar, you get Exodus. And I mean, dude, I hope this game shows out. I really do. I mean, they have done so much talking about this game. I keep up with everything they do. They do so many like interviews within their own team. They've published books. Their website is crazy and full of lore. The Mass Effect community, myself included, has just attached themselves to this thing. Like, please be good. I really hope we get this release date and it continues to look as excellent as it has so far. But for those of you who are like me and you're really interested in Exodus, it looks like we will not have to wait long to find out more, as it's already confirmed to be at the Game Awards. And I'm really hoping it is that release date. Cog, your thoughts on Exodus? My man, James Olin, outside lead designer of KOTOR. Yeah. I got faith, man. I got faith. The lead writer of KOTOR on this as well. Ooh. Get in here, man. Come on. Ooh. This should be good. This should be very, very good. Oh, man. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
When you told me about the formation of this studio, I followed them immediately, Archetype, and I was like, okay, these are the veterans. This is the BioWare we know, you know what I'm saying, that have now found their own home and they're going to do things their way. So to me, I always looked at this game as some form of a spiritual, say, successor, but you know that this is the tangible lead to us where we need to be as KOTOR and Mass Effect fans. So we got to support, because these are literally the heroes, bro, that made the games we love and the way we make it. So I have a lot of hope and confidence that they know what we need as gamers, the things that we fell in love with. So I am pulling for Exodus. So I can't wait. If they will give me a trailer and some release dates, let's go, man. I am super. And I remember seeing, so we haven't gotten a trailer. I thought we've got a
bunch of looks.
Yeah, we got to look.
We haven't got like what I would consider a full-fledged deep dive of the gameplay and seeing like the reactive. They've shown enough to give us like faith of like, I think they're actually doing it. But in terms of like what they've talked about, where you go out on an Exodus and you make these choices, and when you come back, the hub you come back to is dramatically transformed. Those sorts of things they have yet to fully show off, because obviously it'd be kind of spoilery. Yes. But like if they can pull it off, it sounds just like Mass Effect, but it also sounds like true crazy choice and consequence that old BioWare was known for.
Hell yeah.
And so obviously there's a lot that they have to get right, but the lore already, and they got Matthew McConaughey. I forgot to throw that in there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, remember he's the one who revealed the game.
Yeah, I'm bugging. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
What it is, I'm so hopeful. Like I'm the opposite of you. I'm trying not to watch as much on it, like do as much research on it until as it gets closer, because I've been super pumped. Like I see that name, I see Exodus, I see Archetype, I smile. I said, okay, still in existence, it's still coming, it ain't shut down. Let's go. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm super hyped.
They also are kind of our last hope, in the sense that like Mac Walters and Casey Hudson, both their teams lost like funding or got shut down. So it's like it's just Olin and the crew kind of trucking on with the last hope for a new Mass Effect. All three of those guys were trying to make Mass Effect style games.
Yes.
And it seems like they will get to the finish line. I just hope they succeed where others have failed. Time will tell. All right, let's talk Cyberpunk. Everyone's always talking this Witcher 4. Well, guess what? The main source of revenue for the last 5 years at CD Projekt Red is Cyberpunk, which has now sold 35 million copies. And they said their sales were boosted by the Switch 2 as well as Mac devices. Wow. And they've even added in that they've hired up 50 people. They have transitioned more people onto this Cyberpunk sequel. And so as Witcher 4 is spinning up in this interesting direction, they're also spinning up Cyberpunk sequel. It's hard not to have that moment of like, oh boy, I remember last time they swung this hard and how Cyberpunk launched. But they seem to have taken a lot away from it. They shrunk down. They did their thing with Phantom Liberty, restored that confidence in a powerful way. But like, man, they're going for it. So they write here that right now the people working on Cyberpunk 2, it's 135 people It was originally 116 in July. So they're putting like serious manpower into this game. Like not just a small skeleton crew or anything like that. This is a full team working on that game. So this is across their Boston, Warsaw, and Vancouver teams. But like it looks like CD Projekt Red's doing basically what I wanted Bethesda to do. Like it looks like we're not going to be waiting long for everything. You know, like you're going to get your Witcher, you get a Witcher remake, you can get Cyberpunk. Like it's not going to be like these huge waits between everything. But can't say that for sure until release dates are announced and everything. But Cog, you see Cyberpunk's ramping up. What are your thoughts on that?
I always like when Mike Pondsmith is outside and he's talking. And yeah, man, this is what a comeback story. This game was literally the poster child and laughing stock at one point of what not to do, right? Mm-hmm. And to see them rally in the way that they do it, I will never forget that inflection point to me was Edge Runners. Mm-hmm. Edge Runners was the inflection point, and then they actually had content and a revamp and a 2.0 version. Yep. Where it's like, okay, we here. They did it. They did it. They took their lumps. They know they hopefully know now what not to do with the next iteration. But nah, they're cooking CDPR. The fact I want a Cyberpunk 2, like that is needed. And to see that obviously they still got Witcher going on, which is huge. Like, bro, like CDPR is on it, man. Mm-hmm. They're on it. There's a lot of stuff that they got cooking right now. So these are the two of the biggest IPs in gaming that they control. That's insane.
This is why you're wearing the shirt today. Let's talk SEGA. SEGA has talked about their definitive editions. We've often joked about, should you buy Metaphor? In fact, we have a question about that. We'll talk about it in a moment here. Persona 4 or Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 or Persona 5 Royal. Well, Automaton has spotted that in Sega Sammy Holdings' recently published shareholder QA session, they address this. Here is the write-up from Automaton. They say, Sega explained that some of the possible causes could be the presence of rival titles in the same genres, as well as the game's initial pricings. The company also pointed out that players expecting definitive editions of games to be released in the future could be what's making them hesitant to buy the titles at launch. Quote, while we haven't been able to pinpoint a precise cause of the lower than expected sales performance, we believe the problem also lies in our marketing, which wasn't able to sufficiently convey the appeal of our game to our users, end quote, said Sega's spokesperson, reassuring investors that they are currently analyzing the problem. So this could be talking about a number of games, because I'll read the first part of the wrap. They say, as reported by GameBiz, the Q&A session covers a range of topics, including a sudden drop in sales catalog titles like games released during the past fiscal year compared to previous years, and revenue fluctuation largely impacted by some of Sega's new full price and free-to-play titles. But they never really specify what games they are. But remember when we saw Metaphor come to Game Pass and we saw the 2 million sales mark and we went, this thing rocketed out of the gate and then only hit 2 million after. And we were like, that's a pretty significant plateau. And I always talked about that sort of initial explosion. Like you hit 1 million fast, I feel, if you're in this industry with good marketing and a good product, you hit that 1 million, but it's about getting beyond it. Like even Kingdom Come Deliverance, as excellent as it is, slowed down quite a bit, crawling to 4 million, which is still great. But my point being is that I thought Metaphor would be bigger, like in the 3s and 4s, especially for how excellent it is.
Hell yeah.
But then they start pointing to these problems, right? And there have been a lot of people who have said this very thing of like, I'm not buying this game from Sega because I know they're going to re-release it and it's going to be the better version. And they've tried to mess around with a bunch of different ideas like Persona 3 Reload. They tried to sell the answer to you separately. That didn't work out. Obviously, we know a lot of people are waiting on Metaphor ReFantazio and its inevitable re-release that they're going to do. Before we get into our write-in, asking us about that very question, Cog, I'm curious what you think about this as a Sega guy. Sega admitting that their definitive editions could hurt their sales.
It's about time the truth's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a problem. I've always felt like, when you really get me going on, getting into Persona and like, Cog, you need to play this, man. I'm telling you. And, I'm like, all right. And it's always that fear. I'm just like, okay, this comes out, but if I get this now, what are the chances they're going to do the super deluxe extra cheese version. You know what I'm saying? Like they seem to continue to do it. And then even their practices when they do the remakes, what was it, 3? And you was like, yo, that don't have it. They're going to do an extra. And I'm like, that's not part of it? Like what? Like what are we doing? So it's like, now you're nickel and diming a bit too much, bro. I get it. You make high quality games, but people are on to you. Yeah. I do feel this is a problem. And we both talked about Metaphor. Bro, I was just listening to the soundtrack at the gym not that long ago. Oh, man. That was
so good. It's on my writing playlist, so I hear it like most weeks. And I'm just like,
yeah. I was listening to the Fort Triad, the Night song. And then I was listening to, obviously, you know, my man on the mic doing this thing when you get to the Palace Lane. I was like, oh, this joint is so fire. Like, bro. And it's like, what pains me about that game, beating that game, is like, I just can't wait to get back into it. And we know there's going to be some form of a version of it. And we saw the Game Pass thing. I think the saddest thing about all of this is the fact that, like we said, was it 2 million for Metaphor?
Yeah.
And it really stayed stagnant. And then when we saw the Game Pass turn around so quick, okay, they wanted a bag. They want to kind of get some stuff. And I am concerned now. But the question is, are they truly going to stop these practices? That's what I want to know. Are they really going to stop? Because this is affecting some of the biggest games. And sidebar, I want to say this too. I forgot to mention this earlier. This even though it has nothing to do with them, but it is kind of related. Mm-hmm. I'm getting sad with these Game of the Year nominated games not selling the way I think they should be.
Sure.
Bro, when we talked about that, year to date 2025, we talked about Battle. You know what game was not on that list?
What game?
What the hell is Expedition?
Oh, really?
Bro, Expedition is not on the top 20 of the hell. I get it. Live service. Bro, I'm concerned now. This is the thing I'm trying to relate to my gaming brothers. Like the games we love, the ones we cherish with our heart more, are not the movers of the industry. They are the transformative as far as game design and recognition and critical acclaim and awards, but it's not translating to sales. I'm like, damn, you would think with all of the recognition Expedition is getting, bro, really? So yeah, I just wanted to, that's how I felt about Metaphor last year. I'm like, come on,
guys.
In
the engagement or the sales list?
Sales. When I'm talking about year to date, the US 2025 top 20, again, mind you, this is US only. I get it. But, bro, it's not. Split Fiction is there at number 17. You know, I'm looking at this, you know, even Yotai, right? You know, I keep mentioning that as an outlier, but it's a great exclusive that did really well so far in 2025. You know, bro, where are my games at, man? Where's my Expedition? Hurt me to see that not there.
All right. Yeah, I think when it comes to Sega, it's tough because I don't really advocate for their definitive versions, but they've always been like significantly better than the original product. Like no one talks about Persona 4. We all talk about Golden for good reason. It's an incredible game. 5 Royal, I think, is the same thing. 5, because I remember when I beat 5, I really loved it, but I was not sold on that cast. I was like, yeah, I think 4 is like still the truth. Yeah. 5 Royal changes everything. And I just think like Anton K writes in, he says, happy Turkey Day, Dukes. He said, I've been holding out on Metaphor for the Golden version, but I'm starting to lose hope. Do you think there will be a Golden edition of Metaphor, or has the Persona team moved on? Thanks. And I'm thankful for all the amazing content you all have given me all year round. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Anton. We appreciate you. I think it's still going to happen because they're assessed now. And like, especially now, what this helps is for games to get a second win at the right time. I think a great example of this was SMT5. I don't think SMT5, when it came out on Switch, got the recognition it deserved, but then here it comes again, and it's multiplat. It's on Xbox. It's on PlayStation. They have this whole new vengeance storyline that's completely different from the original one. That changes a lot of things up, in my opinion, and it makes it kind of fun to revisit. So they have this flow with their games, but if you're like me and others where you're of the hardcore and you're like, it's on site, it's kind of difficult to mentally sign up to a Metaphor knowing like, oh, that took me 110 hours or whatever it was. And when I want to play your definitive edition with probably the better story and the better mechanics, et cetera, I'm I'm really buying a 200 something hour game now. That's a little bit more of a tough sell. Persona 5 Royal is probably the best game I'll ever play that I will likely never replay because it took me 135 hours to beat. And I already played Persona 5. So like I have all of my Persona 5 stored upstairs and in my heart. I think that's what happens is a lot of people are just like Anton. Clearly, because Anton, you've written in about this before because I recognize your name. Like there's plenty of people who are just like eager to play these games, but they know Sega's playing games with them.
Playing games.
So I mean, I feel bad, but I feel like they're not going to stop because they've done this. It goes so far back that SMT games did it. They took the original Persona games from PS1, put them on PSP and made those better, do music for them and everything. Like this is such a core Sega strategy. The idea that they would acknowledge it is crazy.
It is crazy.
With them shaking it off, I would not get your hopes up. I just think it's too foolproof. I do think it leads to better games for those who are patient.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for Sega, they'll just work around this. They'll be like, all right, people are going to wait us out. Like, how do we want to approach it? I think the best that they could do would be for people like you and I, Cog. We bought Metaphor day and date.
Right.
Here comes your definitive edition. Let me have it for free. Nice free 99 update. Layer that shit on top for those who have purchased. Put the game on sale when you announce it. Boom, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my suggestion. But yeah, I don't expect much change. So Anton, keep waiting. Yeah. I'm sure they'll do it.
It'll happen. And look, as much as I'm complaining, as a person who loves Metaphor, bro, I feel Luis was the guy burn.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite, antagonists, and I can't wait to get back into playing that game. And I'm curious to see what they would do to make that game better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we both felt it dragged a little bit towards there. Like it could have, you know what I'm saying? But it was amazing, man.
Yeah. Metaphor felt like a more. Like they kind of the reason I was a little bit hesitant on the whole Golden Edition is it did feel like complete.
Yeah, it felt like a wrap.
Yeah, it felt like everything that needed to be done was done. It wasn't like really any Persona game where there is a level of like we could do this too, right? Or there is that over there. I think 5 Royal did the best job of that though because like 5 felt complete. It just ended in a kind of predictable way. 5 Royal comes around, it's like, oh my God, you guys are fucking geniuses. With Metaphor, though, it does feel, without spoiling, just every plot point was really answered.
Yeah, because they had their moments with your man, and I was they had that big reveal. I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, what could they do? Like, it felt like a wrapped story.
Like the more dungeons. Persona 5 Royal did rethink the key dungeons. They gave you like a grapple hook and they let you like go up in secret areas. Like they added to these levels in interesting ways. So Metaphor's biggest weakness to me was its
the dungeons you said. Yeah.
And I feel like if they can make those better, that would be amazing. The combat's incredible. I don't know like what you would change with that. The difficulty is just right. Yeah. The archetypes are just right. It's basically the persona system. That's the thing. It's like a perfect JRPG. It's really hard to improve upon. Like they kind of just
side bosses was terrorizing me.
Yeah, like the side content's plentiful.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the game is voiced. They fleshed out those side stories a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like there's an alternate ending path that they had set up that they abandoned, which is what Persona 4 did. But unless you want to go evil, I don't know. But
if they will give me some more, listen, I can listen to Luis talk.
Yeah,
they will give me some more Luis. I'm down for that.
I can think of how they would continue that, like exactly the story. But I see an open-ended kind of approach where it's like there could be more just based on that final shot of the game and how it wraps up. I'm like, like I could see there being more Metaphor. I hope there's more Metaphor. I think they're going to treat it like Persona, though, where like each entry will be like a metaphor regarding like this one was fantasy. But then I think they're going to do it for something else next time.
I see what you're going. Okay.
So I think this is cut and dry, but I still think they'll do I don't know what they're going to add. You know what would be interesting? Add a queen. Female playable character. That'd be cool.
Interesting.
They did that for Persona 3 Portable. And I feel like I feel bad for the very large female player base of these Atlas games. It's always a dude, bro. And
it's always a dude.
And the dudes look cool as fuck. We got a short king last time, man. But like, I do miss FemC from Persona 3 Portable, and I would love to see them kind of like embrace because the cool thing about Persona 3 Portable is it changed the story based on who you were playing as. And that not like radically, but it had like different social links and stuff and interactions, and that was neat. And that could be enough, like just long blue hair. That'd be interesting. I'd be down for that.
We'll see what's up.
Cog, it's time to talk about what games we are playing. I see you're on a revenge tour for one. I'd love to hear about all you're playing this week, sir. So fire away.
Pretty boring. It's pretty much, now catching up on things that a lot of half-eaten sandwiches that some I did finish and some I'm still in the mix of, and I just can't let go. Sure. So I guess I will start. I'm going to start different. I'm going to start with the altars first. And the reason why I want to start with that is shout out to my man, Alex Jordan. I've been following his Twitter. He's the voice actor of Jan Dolsky, the character in the altars. And, you guys know how much I love this game. I did beat this game. And he put out a tweet, and he had, I believe, the community manager with him. And he was in the Jan Dolsky outfit, the jumpsuit. And he's like, can't wait to show you. But we're working on the DLC in 2026.
Oh.
I said, okay. And I forgot that they are coming out with DLC. They did announce that a while. I forgot. So I'm like, wait a minute.
DLC. Okay.
Yes, they get it. So I'm like, okay. So he's in the booth. And again, for those who don't know, I am a big Alex Jordan fan. The fact of the matter is his resume is already impressive with all the games he's done prior. But the key for those who don't know is he played almost 11 characters in this game, all distinct voices. And there's one point, even I think Locke told you about, where this is what I knew he was peak. You're doing 11 distinct personalities, all from the technician, the scientist, the mind, all these different versions of Jan based on Rapidium and the timeline and the multiverse, and you get to use these in this actual scenario. But what made it amazing, there's a scene in this game in the midpoint, actually earlier, when you try to get all the altars to work together, and they have like what I consider the beer pong moment, and they all get together, and someone busts out in song. And he literally, shout out to the music designer, they had a track. It's a guitar bro. He's literally singing in all the voices. A legit song. Like some alternative type joint. I said, this man, if he doesn't get nominated, and he did not, which I'm still trying to work through it. Shout out to the Golden Globes. I heard he got some other nominations other places, but the Game Awards, shame on you, because I know you did not play the game. I already exposed yourself. You did not play, because there's no way this man does not get nominated. But anyway, so when I saw that, I'm like, yo, I got to get back on altars, because when I did beat it, I forgot I didn't unlock, remember, in one playthrough, you can't unlock all of them.
Yeah.
There's so again, there's ones I've never seen. There's versions of him that I never seen.
Angles of the performance.
Yes. So I'm like, yo, I gotta go back. But here's the next thing. So I'm gonna send you the other link, bro. So I'm playing it. I'm like, I'm having fun. And there's one scene where it is this is now, I think after Act 1, as you get into Act 2, which is kind of like midpoint of the game. And it is a very moral / scientific choice that you have to make. And it is one of the more powerful discussions and decisions in the game. And when you do it, a lot of the altars will riot against you. And you may not get them back on you. This is almost like Outer Worlds companion. You have gotten to the sunken place with certain people, and they're like, yo, what you did, ain't no coming back from that. I am never working with you. That is the ultimate no-no. Okay. So I forgot I didn't do it from that place. But the cool thing about altars, great save system. Right. You can go right back to the point prior to and they got all your saves listed. I'm like, all right, so I'm doing that. And it's called, for those, it's called the Tableau Rouge, I believe. It's called, people who know, this decision is wild, bro. So I'm going to do that playthrough and then see where that plays out and see what other scenarios. And there's still branches from that ending when you do this choice. So that was and then here's the other thing, bro. They just announced today they got another content update free. Put it in chat for you. Bro, they just announced there's a joint coming out. like in a week or two. It's a free content update with all these updates and all the quality of life things that people complain. Now, I personally, I would have wished they would have stuck to their guns on one, which is you go through a course of a 24-hour day, and at the end of the day, then you can save. Some people felt that was too harsh.
Oh, I'm looking now.
I personally didn't have a problem with it. It, to me, really gave more choice and consequence on all the things you do in a day. But I get it, I guess.
You're into the save scummers.
Yeah, I'm like, you bet the need of these dudes. Like, but it's like, to me, that added to the game. The only excuse you could give is like, okay, bro, I gotta go. You know, I gotta stop playing right now. And okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, I would have wished they stuck. It's a nitpick, but I guess this was a very major complaint by the casual people that play the game. So we got that. We got new save system. We got all these other things coming out. We got customization. We got a bunch. So that's coming out in December 8th. It's called the free major content update. And then obviously next year they doing DLC. So I'm like, bro, I just got the fever once again to play this amazing game and fully get the rest of these achievements out for the joint. So the Altars was back with #1. It's my comfort food game. This is my Midnight Suns of the year. This is my Path of the Goddess game of the year. I already know when when I love
one doomed to fail.
Yeah, this is my love, man. So yeah, salute to them. But I think they're doing well. 11-Bit Studios doing well. And I think right now they're doing Moonlighters. I think Moonlighters 2 is them.
Oh, is them?
Yeah, bro. I was like 11-Bit. Let me find out.
Yeah.
You know,
they're good. They're a great publisher. I think they also did Frostpunk.
Yes. So Altars is back on the menu right now. So I got that back to cover food. And then I said, okay, it's time. Let's fire up the PS5. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? And I really want to get my my Atsu back on. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, I done put in like 25 hours in this game and I'm having so much fun. And I ain't even worried about the Yota 6. I ain't even kill. I'm like, y'all get to y'all when I'm having fun doing these side tales and legend stories. And bro, it's just a lived in world. And it's something about that universe that the way they're, again, I say it consistently. If you want to get me into playing open world games again, just follow the Ghost of Tsushima and the Ghost of Yota format. That's the way for me, man. And again, I guess maybe it's the time period, it's the actual locale. But yeah, I'm having fun. I'm leveling it up. I'm doing a whole bunch of new skills. And then what's cool is because you still haven't played yet. I don't want to spoil too much. You haven't played yet, right? You're good.
But yeah, no, I haven't played yet.
But basically, they've added what I consider the flashback mechanic at home. So when you go home, every time, basically your home is ravaged. But every time you go back, you learn something, and it really then ties it forward into the future while she's doing some restoration on this very tragic thing. Again, cool, nothing groundbreaking, but it's just well done. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
That's all it needs to be done. It's just to get the fundies right.
Yeah, get it right. So yeah, I've been having a ball with that, and I'm getting my other weapons and my other styles now. So I'm doing that. So I've been that. And then the third game, like I said, this is a very simple week for me. This is just going back home to stuff.
The basics back on.
And then obviously I finally got the homies to play Battle Walk with me. And it's been so much fun. And now, shout out to my man Astro Parrot. There's a couple of LSM fam that picked it up, that have it now. And it's like, Cog, we're getting down with you. So I'm going to save campaign 2, which it's the wintry one, the wintry biome kind of one. And I'm saving that for the homies. So shout out to my man, Astro Parrot, he's got it now. Shout out to my man, Joseph LaRusso, you got to hit me up. We got to do that. And then also Iron Rook, I see you when you come back. So I'm saving that campaign for y'all. I want to blaze that now. So this is love. I'm showing love now because y'all said, Cog, you sold me. I listened to Duke. Listen to IOP. I'm feeling this game. I'm holding y'all spots. Y'all only got after Thanksgiving. I'm giving y'all Thanksgiving pass. But after Thanksgiving, y'all not hitting me by the weekend. I want some DMs. Yo, Cog, will we fire it up? Otherwise, I will be selfish with my own crew because they're waiting. Yeah. So shout out to them. And I literally for some of y'all that I picked it up on PS5. Obviously, this has cross play. But I got the PS5 version since I've been playing a lot on PS5 for these reasons, especially these Sacred Symbol boys. So what's up? holla at your boy. I'll play where y'all at. Got the VR, I got the PS5, I got the Steam. Wait, tell me what we doing, and I will make a room, and y'all can join me. And we can link up. And Maddie, I'm getting on you. You got to play this some DB with me or something.
I got so many things I gotta play for you.
This is the thing.
I got Titanfall 2, I got Demio, and I got Black Ops 6 now. I got a lot I gotta play for you.
Sure, you do. All right. So if I had to,
what are we picking of those three?
You got to do Demio, bro. You got to. No, wait. No. You never play Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
Wait. No. That stops. We got to stop it. That's Vince Zampella, like peak story, peak. Oh no, yeah, you got to get Titanfall 2. I can't. You gotta get that. That's homework. That is. That's peak.
It seems like it's time. Not just because I want to do it, but also, as I said, I'll do it. I'm 20 and under club right now. You 20 hours long. If you're beyond that, nope. Give me my nice casual shooters. Yeah, give me my old school games that were, considered long back then for being like 18 hours long. Like, that's what I'm looking at. So I think Titanfall 2, what I was going to do was, approaching our final episode of the year, just create a nice list. We're going to have like our usual 2 to 3 weeks off and just like, like what are these small games I can tackle? Indie games and small shooter games, and I got old school games next to me. Like, might want to fire up one of these games, do a little trophy hunt for once. Yeah, I'm just like really committing to that idea. Like I've always talked about it, but now I'm like, dude, fuck it. Like if not now, then when?
Bro, got to.
But if between those three,
you got to do Titanfall 2.
Right? Okay.
It's one of the more underrated gems of the generation. Okay. The beauty of an amazing campaign where you can humanize BT. Shout out to BT. All my Titanfall 2 fans know. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, what you call one of the better multiplayer games.
I don't have it in my collection.
Ooh.
I have it on Steam. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Got to play that, bro.
Okay.
Got to play that. So that's been pretty simple. We just kind of back to basics and getting stuff done.
Yeah. All right. For me, kind of simple too, now that I think about it. I'm playing a game for a review, smaller game.
Ooh.
It's currently embargoed. We'll talk about that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But the main thing I've been spending my time with, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
We're quite hungry. Hungry.
We have passed the 100-hour mark.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going, bro.
How we feeling?
I've done all the side content I can find. I am just in love, man. I mean, I'm at the point where like the friction is over. I'm not struggling to fight anymore. Like I'm stealing anything I want. I'm talking my way around anything I want. I'm beating the shit out of anyone I'd like. Like that's just my Henry now. And so I'm just having that fun power fantasy, which you have to work really hard to get to. Like it's pretty incredible when you get there, though. It feels so earned because it's like, oh, you like most times when someone would talk to me and they're like, you want to fight? I'm like, no, God, please don't. Like, no, don't hit me, man. Like, I really don't want to go through the whole combat thing.
Speech check, please.
Yeah, speech check saved me. But now, bro, like these past 30 hours have forged a different Henry. And he is ready to draw blade with anyone. But that aside, though, I mean, these side quests are incredible.
Yes.
And I love how hidden they are. Okay. There's a couple of things I want to update you on. We'll speak in code.
Okay.
I restored a bathhouse.
I know where you at. Yeah.
That was awesome. Then I went to go take care of business at the bathhouse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the bathhouse was established. And I was like, oh, let's acquaint ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw a new dialogue option to talk to this individual and say, like, how are things going?
Mm-hmm.
And I find out about this new clean tax. Now, that's the thing. Cog, this wasn't marked on my map. Usually they put like a little shield icon. They're like, new quest. So I talked to her and she's like, there's this new tax. It's going to fuck over all the bathhouses. Don't lose. Bro, this is a fully rendered cutscenes quest line where you have to like break the bathhouse economy in Gutenberg.
Really?
And I'm like, this is an unmarked quest line.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. I was like, no fucking way. They just did not put an icon on the map for this one. It's just there.
Dope.
Unreal. Like, what a flex. And it was great. Like, you're not the best side quest in the game, but bro, I've experienced some. I've caught serial killers.
I did that serial killer one.
I have done so much lately.
Mm-hmm.
All of it has been excellent. Even some of the activities, like the smaller ones, right? Like where, you get that little green shield icon, you go, okay, like little 30 minutes top excursion here, beating up stalkers in these streets. I'm stealing from businesses. I'm finding out old side quest characters hoodwinked me later in the game. And they're like, oh, you're here now. You're a student. I thought you didn't have money. I'm catching up with people. Dude, it's unbelievable how good this game is. Really, like the consistent quality bar for such a big game. I don't think this will be topped for a while. It can't be. I'm 100 hours in, and every hour I progress and love it more. Even to the point where kind of complaints I had, like, oh, I'm not too into the universe, but I don't care because I just want to like explore and see the things happening here and just enjoy these characters. Now the main story, Colin.
All right, let's go.
Let's just say I partook in a feast.
Oh,
and then I had an exodus.
Okay,
and we had to, some things went down in Kupenberg.
Ooh.
Bro, that was powerful.
Yes,
that was incredible. I was like, all this for me, like this, like all these side quests I'm just sawing through, and then this part of the story happens right after I'm done with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been eating like a fucking king in this game, bro. It is unfucking real.
Got that pouched. Food's good.
Yeah. And
not spoiled. Everything's eaten right.
Oh, dude, yeah, like everything. I could not say a single bad thing about this game right now. I really couldn't. I am just so again impressed by the consistent quality level, the polish, how good the game looks, how charming all the characters are, the voice performances, just Henry as a main character. I gotta say, Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 I really liked, but I was not like a lot of the fan base who was just loved it.
Yeah,
Henry has totally like cemented himself in my brain, like there with like the likes of Shepard, Geralt, that kind of voiced MC where I'm like, dude, I love this guy. Like, bro, I was getting like, so we're on to our next mission, and I have to like go inside someone's camp and get some inside intel, and someone else is in this camp as well who's working the baths, and so to get us into a quiet spot to talk, she has to give me a bath while we're talking. And bro, like the way conversations are so organic in this game, like she calls out Henry's not really packing heat, man. And like, and I love that shit. I'm like, dude, no other game takes the piss out of their main character more than Warhorse does with Henry. Like dude, I went to a bathhouse once and like, you know what, like you see the time passing.
Yeah.
And you hear the moaning.
Yes.
So we get out of that. And there's just a girl standing in front of me. She's like, never do that again to me. And I'm just like, bro, I'm like, what's Henry doing in there, man? I'm like, whoa. So anyway, at this point in the main story, we're working together, but like, it's so funny because my Henry, like I'm a bathhouse attendant because I need my clothes clean, but I figured, that
while you're there.
Yeah, while I'm there, the extra lovemaking doesn't hurt the stat buff I get out there, right? Like all of a sudden Henry's way more charismatic. All my speed checks are going through because he's like, dude, I'm just like, I'm just a half a step away from going back to Pound Town. Like I'm good, bro. So Henry's the peak romance, bro. Anyway, I'm talking to this character and she's giving me a bath and he's just like, basically saying how he's like nervous that she's giving him a bath. And I just love how it's so inconsistent with the rest of the game because he's just like, well, it's different when you do it. No, just so funny. So the game's funny, but it's also like very like in those moments I was talking about in the story, just by mission name alone, it's like, whoa, man, like it gets really fucking powerful. So I don't know how close I am to done. I don't feel like I'm close.
That's what I was going to ask you. So you've already
we're doing canon research right now,
right? So the question is, I'm assuming you've already had this big dinner sequence that happened. Okay, so you done that. And you said you were infiltrating something, right, as a camp?
Yeah.
Okay. In the form of, I'm trying to remember because I think I know where you are. But the only thing, has our man come back yet?
Yeah.
Father, what is his face? Did he come back?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did anything major with him?
Godwin?
All right, so you ain't there yet. Okay. Okay. So there's some stuff you got to do. There is. See, I'm trying to. You said infiltration, but it could be one of two infiltration things, and I'm trying to see.
I'll put it in chat because I bet you can help me out here.
Because I just want to make sure which infiltration you're at.
Okay,
because there's a serious infiltration that happens that it is involves a lot of things, and once you get to that part, then I'll have an idea of where you as Ramen the Duke's Matty is typing something.
There we go. You read that and you let me know.
Oh, okay. You're getting there. Yeah, you are getting.
I'll tell you exactly where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're getting there. Getting there. Yeah, you're getting there. And the other thing is, did you anything involving being hungry a long time?
No,
not yet. Okay. So you're getting there. You probably got another 30% left.
Interesting. That's close.
So I would say you're 70-ish. But again, this is assuming, because remember, this game has so many side quests, so many things to do. If you choose to, you just now beeline main. You still got other things you could do
right
in other.
Now, the main story map. The map is empty. Like, I don't have any quest icons left.
Okay, yeah. So it will be straightforward, but even though it's straightforward, these main quests are lengthy now.
I got that vibe last night. I stopped in the middle of one. Like, I texted you just now where I stopped. Like, that was in the middle of one that was, I was already going through like cutscene after cutscene.
Oh, yeah. And they're very multi-part, multi-layered and stuff like that. So, I would say you're about 70% to 80% done. You're almost there. But that 30% left, it's big. It's impactful.
I'm in no rush. Like I said, this is kind of KCD2 month for me. And, I'm thinking it'll carry me into the first week of December. I mean, bro, I put serious time in this game like every night. I got it installed on my Steam Deck. Like, I'm at least throwing a good 5 in a night. Bro,
like, I'm running so good on those devices.
It really again, that's another unbelievable aspect of the game is that optimization I was talking about earlier. Like, it just runs so well for a game that's so big and so much is going on and no bugs or glitches that I've encountered. It really is the ideal open world RPG experience. Kind of like what you were saying about Yote, where you're like, if you want to get me back in open world games, make something like Yote. For me, it's like, if you want me to deeply care about your open world RPG,
make something.
I'm not even hyperbole, because I'm not done yet.
I know.
But like, this is the standard. It's got to be. Like, it's just, to me, this is the next Witcher 3. Like, this is really, like, that's the level I'm putting it at. Like, it is that level of, okay, they did everything and then some, above and beyond. I think the only thing you can take away from this game right now, from it based on its community and its reception, is the DLC. It doesn't seem to be like,
it's like, okay,
like, and obviously, CD Projekt Red has shown they are the fucking kings of expansions. So they're not there yet, but like, in the terms of the base quality, like, it is what The Witcher 3 did again. And I don't know what I expected. Like, I liked what I played a lot, but I wasn't there yet. But it really is a game that is a lot like Metaphor, where you realize as you get into it more that the line is just going like this up the whole way. It never flattens. You never go like, oh, that was boring. And the other thing I really love about the game, and partially I think it may be the reason why they didn't have quests like I just talked to you about on the map, it doesn't overwhelm you.
Yes.
It doesn't, like, there was only one point where I went, oh my God, I got so much to do. And if I look at my activity log, because a lot of it's busy work, so I've chosen to sometimes just opt out of it and be like, I don't feel like participating in this tournament or whatever. Like, I'm good. Like, I already did one round of this. I don't need to do like 6 of these and whatever. But otherwise, though, I think the content's paced just really well, and it's easy to keep up with. And it's so surprising how long some of these side quests go on for.
Bro, they're like, they're good, they're lengthy, and I want to give them a shout out. There's one scene you've already passed, and we'll talk about where the waiter scene, right? Okay, that was crazy, right?
Yeah,
bro. I didn't realize until after I beat the game could end there.
Locke told me that. I
could not believe the balls of them to do that and have that option if you chose to be extremely grimy with a situation.
Yeah.
And the fact it could be there, I
responding.
was like,
Yeah.
this game is special, bro.
Yeah.
This is RPG at the highest level.
100%. And it's interesting because it's not really in the build crafty area. Like,
Right.
you're not like, oh, my Henry's more stealthy than yours. Like, you kind of do everything. It's very Skyrim in that way. Like, my Henry is great at everything now, and I love that feeling. But it's really about, so it just makes, when you make those choices, it's about the morality of it. And there's no meter outside of the reputation with the individual characters. I did a side quest last night. It was the Spoils of War. Do you remember that one? Where you went to a town that was like, it was very drab, and you had to like collect all of their food, and you were working with. So that side quest was kind of incredible because for me, I went in there and the steps were simple. Go to this house, this house, this house, take their food and put it in the cart. Now, speaking of the reputation meter, the guy who's run this side quest is F-bombing me every other sentence. And everything I say to him, reputation lost. I could be like, dude, you look great. He's like, what the fuck are you blabbing about? Get out there and get
out there and do it.
Yeah, and he's like, it's just his reputation lost. I'm like, this guy's a certified hater. What was so unreal about this quest line, though, is that it starts with those 5 simple steps. Grab the food. And you could just say, that's it. The amount of ways this thing can end. I will go into just mild, I guess, spoiler territory for it, but I think it'll for a lot of people because it's a kind of offshoot side quest. You can miss it. It's not going to impact your main story. You can listen to this and be like, all right, I can still enjoy the shit out of KCD too. So this side quest can end so many ways. If you load up the wagon with just the food, it's not enough. And they'll kill the people in the town. If you give them just valuables, it's still not enough. And they think that they're hiding something. If you take all of the food, which I did, like I cleaned them out. I found all their secret hiding spots. I'm like, okay, I got all the food. The people in the town die, not because now the army's like, we're good. And they die because they have nothing left to live on.
Bro.
Then you start to learn of these unmarked objectives. I go around, I start talking to everybody in this town. I'm like, hey, you got to be hiding something, bro. He's like, no, I'm not. Speech check. Yeah, you are. It's like, all right, there's a cow down by the river. And it's like, all right. So we got the cow. Yeah. And I find another guy. I'm like, yo, what's going on, homie? Like, what are you hiding? And he's like, someone's got some beer around here.
And so always a dude be saying stuff like that. Yeah.
And so there's this one farmer in this side quest that is a complete fucking rat. Like, just told on everybody. Snitched on everybody. Anyway, I go to this guy who I'm losing my reputation with. I'm like, oh, bro, like, I found some cows. I found some beer. Here's some valuables. Because then you learn in this side quest, they killed 2 other guards who showed up here earlier and buried them outside of town. So you dig up a grave and you take a ring off of one of them, and you take some money from them as well that they had stashed away, and you give that over to them. So you kind of give them back what they lost. Yeah. And all 3 of those means that they're like, we don't need the food now. And so this quest can end all those different ways. And I was there for like so long because one thing that I had to give away was the hidden valuables. So some guys like, yeah, I put it up on top of like the chicken coop or whatever. So you look up and I just see like, I'm like, no fucking way. And I just see sitting on the chicken coop on this ledge is just this sack. And so I take out my bow and arrow and I'm like, I let it go and it hits this thing off. And there it is. It's like a bag of hidden valuables that they just tucked up there.
Hey, yo.
And this is all missable. And it was so easy to just beeline the quest.
Yep.
It's a way of breaking the industry conventions and just kind of letting you think like, oh, what if I talk to some of these people around here? Like, there's certainly got to be more to it. Kind of like, it kind of manipulates the idea of like, the quest steps are there. Like, it's telling you where to go and what to do. But if you think a little bit more, you're like, well, what if I talk to this person? It'll just add objectives to that list and be like, oh, I should investigate the graveyard over there.
When you hear that sound and you know it, the path diverted. Doom. And you're like, yo.
Yeah. When you get that little quest update, doom, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So I'm definitely like super in love with this game. I don't know if it hits number 1. I don't know. I have to finish it, but it really is a game. It's a game I needed, especially in light of how Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition went and Shattered Space went. Just kind of the trajectory a lot of RPGs that I love are on. It's really nice to have. I mean, that Thieves Guild quest line, I knew this was Bethesda coded when like I was walking around And here comes some dude running up to me in the middle of Bohemia. He's like, hey, message for you, your eyes only. I'm like, I used to dream of times like this. He's like, yo, I got another letter for you. The guild needs your help. I'm like, oh, I love this.
Let's go.
I was like, I love this.
Yes.
So I do appreciate that they leaned into that, because that was a total Thieves Guild, Elder Scrolls ass move. And I'm glad they did it, because I guess they could have taken a step further and done a bunch of guilds and everything like that. But I was happy they gave me that, because my favorite part of this game is the stealth and the stealing.
Yes.
And then to kind of build a whole quest line around stealing stuff and playing pranks. And that this is also, by the way, a quest line with multiple choices, bro. You can straight up be like, fuck the guild and tell on them. And it's
rat them out.
Yeah. Like, again, I accidentally almost did rat them out. I like auto piloted and hit A on like a conversation option talking to a bailiff. And he was like, oh, what guild are you talking about? I was like, oh, nothing, sir. Nothing, sir. You know, so
I know that dude. I know that dude. Yeah.
He's like, if I see you around, then you're going to be in trouble. So it's been some good gaming lately, man. I cannot wait to do my final verdict video on this game, because it's been superb. And I have so much to say about it than what I already have laid out, but just an excellent RPG. And hopefully I've sold it to you all that this holiday season, with the Black Friday sales hitting, there's no better way to spend your holiday break than with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Yes,
that is my belief. But I think my top 3 is solidified in Expedition, Kingdom Come, and then Silent Hill F.
So strong. I like that.
Yeah. Very, very good year. All right, Cog. Let's wrap this one up talking about hardware prices. So Valve has yet to give us the price for the Steam machine. We last week spoke about updated thoughts on the Steam machine. Like, hey, are we cooled off? What's our vibe at right now? This week in hardware has been kind of disastrous, and it's really no one to point at except for OpenAI. Like, it's going to be easy to be like, I'm going to defend Xbox a little bit in this segment. I'm going to be honest with y'all, because I think the way I put it in my video is I don't think there's a hero in this story. As in, I don't think someone rises up and is like, I'm going to cut my hardware costs, unless you do what Lenovo did, which we'll talk about. So let's start at the beginning here. Valve was talking to my homie Skill Up and Jake Baldino, two of the GOATs on the FPS podcast. Also, shout out to Lucy James. She was not present in the interview. But anyway, in this new interview with Skill Up, they were talking about the price tag. And it was said that the expectation should be that the Steam machine will be priced around the same as if you were to build a PC from the parts to get basically the same level of performance. They say ideally we'd be pretty competitive with that and have a pretty good deal, but we're working on refining that as we speak. Right now, it's just a hard time to have a really good idea of what the price is going to be, because there's a lot of different things, a lot of external things. And they've also said that they will not be subsidizing this. That's another massive takeaway from this interview. So at the very best, Valve would like to break even with this device. Why is this a concern? Because even though Valve has such a great reputation, as I mentioned earlier, I don't think there can be a hero in this story, because right now OpenAI has just put out a statement that they are buying up 900,000 sticks of RAM per month. And so they've effectively bought out clients like a Valve and Xbox, who now, like us, have to pay a premium on things like RAM. So if you look up RAM prices right now, like, it was an immediate skyrocketing. They're twice the price of a console.
Bro, it's insane.
It's an insane PC gaming L, because right when it was gaining steam, this fucks the whole market for people who want to get in. But it helps Valve if they get the price right, because people are going to want to buy these pre-built PC-like machines. Now, this means that companies who are not ready are going to be caught flat-footed. That could be Valve. And as we'll talk about in a moment with a claim here, this could be Xbox. But there are companies that can give you a little bit of hope, like Lenovo, who have reportedly, according to Bloomberg, bought out enough stock for their 2025 devices, but also enough RAM to last them through 2026 to avoid any price shock. So companies that were ahead of the curve might be able to beat the prices. Mm-hmm. We don't know if Valve saw this coming, though. And what we're starting to hear is that Xbox did not see this coming. Now, this is from friend of Last Stand Media, Moore's Law is dead. And he claims in a video called OpenAI RAM Hoarding Leak that Xbox was not ready for this new deal to be struck between OpenAI and its several manufacturing partners. And as a result, Xbox did not plan ahead at all, where the prices for the Series X and S could go up soon again, or supply could just entirely dry up. Now, we'll talk, of course, our predictions on what we think may happen here. But the result of this has been price hikes of RAM, of course. The other result has been GPU distributors like NVIDIA, AMD have all said to expect at least a 10% increase in prices. So their stuff's going up because they need the RAM to make their hardware. So now that affects not just the Steam machine, but you have to wonder if this affects what Xbox is doing, what PlayStation 6 is doing. All this hardware, I should say, in gaming is about to go up. So now we have the right in here, and I want to kick it to you, Cog. Shard of Odium writes, Dukes, with the RAM shortage and talks of Microsoft raising the price of Xbox yet again, do you think this will be the final nail in the coffin for them this gen? Having prices that outrageous, I can't imagine anybody would be willing to buy them at these costs. Have a great Thanksgiving. Remember, calories don't count on holidays. True words right there. So, Cog, you see these rumors start popping up. Xbox price hike again. What is the feeling when you see that combined with Valve's statement and these external issues that everyone's facing?
Yeah, these are market conditions now. These are definitely, before it was just easy to kind of slap, tariff on something and say, damn it, the damn tariff. Yeah, this is bad. But with the OpenAI stuff and the RAM snatching, this is affecting everything. This is affecting the PC, the chip manufacturers. I mean, everybody who's involved with making some form of hardware is going to be affected. Now, some people were able to pre-plan. I mean, shout out to Moore's Law is dead. As far as the, from my understanding, PlayStation was one of the ones that were kind of equipped for at least to hold out of their, we want to call it the stash, right? Where you get a lot of these things ahead of time, anticipating. And this is very important for PlayStation because they're still in the console selling business, right? So they can't afford to be having it. So they salute to them for pre-planning. And I think Nintendo might be safe for like another year or two. Eventually, don't get me wrong, these two still, their stock will go out, but it will be much longer before Xbox. Now, the surprising thing with Xbox is that I am surprised in one hand that they're kind of caught with their pants down, so to speak, where they're not prepared and that they're just willing to say, okay, look, it is what it is. We're going to just jump the price up. I take it a different way. I take it from the standpoint of, again, I've got my SEGA shirt on. They don't intend to be in the hardware business with that level of, influence anymore. So the vibe I got is like, look, we're not subsidizing anything. We are going to let this ride out. And, the council was already torpedoing before RAM was in the question. So whatever stock that is, the vibe I'm getting is like, it reminds me in a way of just not as aggressively, but when the original OG Xbox came out, there was a certain point where they're like, look, this thing's not selling. This is a good first attempt. We're getting ready for 360 now. To me, the Series X and S consoles, we've been past that point. Yeah. So as far as two shards of Odium's thing was the final, this is not the final nail. There's been so many nails. in this coffin. Dog. Yeah, the coffin thing been in the dirt for a minute. Like, what are we doing in it? They are not in the hardware competitive business anymore. They've shown that for the last couple of years every time we see a report. So I think they ride this out. They're not, obviously what sucks for the consumer is, this price is going to go up and they don't care about that anymore. Yeah. And I do think, but here's the thing though, but I'm not going to say push back at Moore's Law because I think his reporting is excellent. The only thing I will say as far as the pants down comment, right? As far as like, they weren't prepared. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. My thing is this, we are forgetting that OpenAI and all these AI companies are doing all of this stuff because obviously AI requires all this RAM. They try to hoard. They're really just doing it to stall out their competitors. This is really corporate greedy shystiness. Let's just be real.
Terrible, bro.
It's just terrible. And now the entire industry as a byproduct is going to suffer because of all of this. We want to be the dominant force of AI. The reason why I feel Microsoft may have something up their sleeve, especially in terms of next gen, remember, they're in the AI business. They have Copilot. So they need RAM too. So I would be shocked that they were like, yeah, we're just gonna let these guys snatch up all the RAM.
Yeah.
Like we're no factor. They want to be remember the way they were invested in AI was affecting Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So
It's going to be happening again. Are they reserving the RAM for AI and not Xbox?
Exactly. So it's like, to me, I'm willing to guess that their play is Copilot, and that there may be something in play when it comes to Magnus. Not saying that we're going to get some subsidized price, but that maybe they had some contingency in effect in reference to that. But as far as Series X and S, yeah, they don't care about that. They letting that joint die out.
Do you think they pass it on to customers, or do you think? I just think they stop supply at this point.
I think they stop supply.
Like I don't think they just find any value in making any more of these. I think you just keep it at the same prices as that. You sell out the remaining ones that are there, and then you just kind of call it there. I mean, you're not coming back. You don't care about hardware as much anymore. If anything, it's going to be this next generation and kind of that off ramp, and so. Kind of feels like a get out of jail free card at this point.
That's how I look. Yep. Yeah. And it says, hey, market conditions. Hey. And they're just going to let that stock just go out. We're not making any more of these. We are focused on being a publisher and then having this off ramp premium system where we will be this hybrid thing. And my only hope is, I do hope this though. I do hope they give us a sequel, like a Series S sequel to Magnus. In terms of, I know you're not trying to make it subsidized to the point of, oh my God, it's going to be so much cheaper. But similar to how like the ROG Ally X, right? There was the white version, right? I'm just hoping they have a less RAM, whatever version that kind of gets more in line with the 700 or 600. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just hoping for that, and we'll see what happens. But as far as that lower SKU point, but yeah, I agree with you, Maddie. I think there's no way they didn't know this, and there's no way. With them being an AI player themselves, they don't know this. So I think there's some other 4D chess thing going on with all these corporations.
I think they're just putting their resources into things that are making them money. And I don't think series consoles make them money. And I think I'd be surprised if they do pass it off again, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, just sell the remaining stock that's built with the parts you already have at the price it's already at. Like, why invite the black eye of another blow to PR by being like, oh, actually, this Series X the 2 terabyte one that we moved up to like a 750, like right next to the PS5 Pro, is actually more money than that. Like, I mean, you could say that about a lot of choices Xbox has made this year, but I can't fathom them being that clueless to be like, let's go through all of that again.
When you say go through all again, you mean like you don't think it's another price hike?
I thought they would just stop the supply and just like sell out what they have. Yeah, like there's no more being made, so they don't have to price hike because.
Oh no, they gonna price hike.
I
know. Let me be clear.
Oh, okay.
No, they're going to price hike.
You think it's gonna happen again? Okay.
Yeah, they definitely gonna price hike. It's just that they'll price hike, and then once those joints are out, you know, they're out. To me, the console's not selling, so they're still sitting somewhere. That's how I internalize. I could be wrong, but I still. Oh no, they're going to price hike. Make no mistake.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Oh no. What's
so
next?
They stop the supply and they jack up the price. This is the worst case
double
scenario.
whammy. You're getting the double whammy, baby. It's going down. I'm predicting it now. There's no way. Because it's an excuse to say, okay, this is what happened. And unfortunately, it's just they'll be first because, again, they have no supply. And then, you know, obviously, it'll probably be Nintendo and PlayStation much later because they have more supply and more anticipating this stuff. But, yeah, I think it's a wrap. Both.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's not going to look good at all then. And so that is another nail in the coffin then, I guess, because I thought my opinion was just like, why? Like, why would you do this? Like, you're not selling any in the first place. You're going to jack it up again but okay. I think, if you think that, I'd probably be more inclined to go with your take than my own. But in all of this, do you think that based on what's happening right now in the market, what Valve is saying, we once again have to revisit this Steam machine pricing. Right now, I am a low SKU or low end, whatever you want to call it, 650,
okay,
and a 750. But I think even that's a little optimistic, you know? So what do you think this is going to be priced at?
I don't know, man. This is a tough one because I didn't like. Shout out to Skill Up in Valdez. I did not like how they sounded over there, man. They don't sound like they try to take no L's on this, and the CPU is good. I know that. Shout out to Jimmy. I was watching his latest videos. You know, because they be getting a lot of smoke on the internal components being older, but the CPU is better than the PS5, and you could do more. You could do more optimization tricks and stuff like that. But the problem is the RAM and how. First of all, people have an issue with the size, right? Was it the 8 gig or whatever?
Yeah.
Combined with now the RAM prices, right? You know, now Jimmy doesn't think that it should affect them too much, but I'm just looking at their language. Their language when they are not using the word subsidized, when they are not. When 500
our fans,
yeah, like I'm still thinking. If I had to guess, gun to my head, 7. That's me being nice.
Low end.
Yeah, that's me being nice. You know, I hope I'm wrong because I like that device.
I think you're in the right area. Like I think realistically, 7, 8. Like I think that's where it's at. I just think that's so self-defeating, though. I think that just becomes unappealing to most of us, including the hardcore. And I don't like, I think the idea I had when they first announced this was like, oh, this shit's like destined to just succeed the Steam Deck and this will build out that ecosystem. It doesn't even have to be like the next big console, but like, oh, this thing has a clear path to success. But it does feel like unless they did what Lenovo did. If they did what Lenovo did and they stockpiled and like they're good.
Right. That's true. We don't know.
And they have like, we have enough to like build out throughout the rest of 2026. They don't have to worry about prices. Maybe we do get that like ideal 600, 700 spread. In a perfect world, 550, 650, but I really think we're dreaming. You know,
I know. Yeah, I was cooling last week, and the more they talk, the more I get. This is an extension of the Steam family.
Yeah,
you're already down with us. This is something else you could do. You know,
there's two ways they're going to offset this, right? There's of course how they did it with the Steam Deck, right? Where it really was a $650 device for most of us, but they had the $400 SKU right there. So it was like, I could spend that little. It was like almost a psychological trick, right? It was like, I could spend that little, but this is the one I'm going to go for. So it really was a $600 device. But when we talk about it, we always say it was $400, right? So I think that pricing psychology is something that they can use to their advantage. I think the other thing they'll use to their advantage is Half-Life 3. Like I think that just kind of like blankets the whole fucking thing. It's just like, oh, you don't like that price? Poof, here you go. It's finally real. No one gives a fuck. Baby. Yeah. Not that they'll throw it out for that reason, but I do think it's going to be part of their strategy to sort of like, if things get a little uppity, settle them down. But if things are going in their direction, let's say they do surprise us, the prices are great, and they're like, bang, here you go, Half-Life 3. Can you imagine what that's going to feel like?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So it's a really mixed feeling because it's like I feel like we all understand what this can be and what it needs to do to be that thing in our heads. And it's got like the perfect formula, like Half-Life 3 is coming around. If the pricing's right, you got a vacant spot because Xbox is moving out. You got a bunch of refugees, as you used to say to yourself. Everyone's looking for a new home. Here comes Valve, trusted ecosystem, doesn't step on a lot of PR rakes.
That is true.
Seems like a great formula right now.
Beautiful OS, one of the best OSs in the game, in gaming, period. And, you know,
does it have to appeal to shareholders?
Yep.
We'll throw that in there too. No Aya Satya.
Highest customer kind of review and satisfaction kind of company. Oh, yeah, it's excellent. But again, when I come down to it, all that is nice. And I love it. But gamers want games. Now, when you can't play GTA on this, but you can. That's the thing. And I'm just like, I'm mad at them because I'm like, this was the time to strike on all levels and really take it to you are prime. You've got your competitors putting your games on, their games on your OS. Like, oh man, I'm like, now you're gonna come up with a high price and then you're not. It doesn't seem like you're still taking this thing serious. It's like a light stab. And I'm like, at least that's the vibe I'm getting. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But the vibe, I'm like, bro, when people find out, I can't play GTA, I can't play Call of Duty, I can't play that, I'm like, not going to be mass. I want mass adoption for them. That's what I want. I want people to go, yo, I'm getting me a Steam, you know what I'm saying, machine, baby. Yeah. That's what I want.
I've come to the point of acceptance of like, maybe it doesn't have to be that level of like whatever the series consoles are doing, like 30 plus million.
Okay.
But like, I was in the mindset of like, do they want to hit half of that? Because I think they easily could over time, you know? And I think especially if the crazy thing to me is like all Valve has to do is start making those threes. Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3, Team Fortress 3. I mean, there's a stupid amount of games that they just a new IP in Deadlock. Yeah. There's a stupid amount of things that they just have to do that I know aren't easy, but like would create that drive into their ecosystem on a level it hasn't been at in a while. And by that, I mean exclusively. Like, of course, obviously we all are shopping on Steam, but that level of like, oh, I can only get this on Steam. Right. I can only get this from Valve. At the time a new system's launching, the things I can't shake, like if I'm going to try to break my brain up into multiple pieces, the things I can't shake are 3 pieces of hardware. I just think now you have that full ecosystem. I don't think you do something half-heartedly at this point. I can't shake the fact that they have a really good rep and foresight. And I think this is where you kind of earn that goodwill with Xbox. If we're having the same conversation as we just had, it's a little bit of like, yeah, like you immediately move me to the side of like, yeah, they're probably going to push it onto us. It didn't take much. But with Valve, there's a level of faith of like, were they prepared? How hard are they going for this? But then the other part of my brain fights with it. If you had a nice price tag, the fuck is the holdup?
No, you know, if you're confident about that price, you ain't telling.
Like if you
these
do
comments,
if you do everything right, like here we had the press in, we had creators in, we let them do teardowns, we have the full specs, full website. You hit a home run on this reveal. Where is the price at?
Where's that price at?
No release date either. So maybe the fair thing you could say is when you get that release date, you get the price. But like, I don't know, man. It's giving me a little anxiety.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like I said, I cooled. I'm hoping for the best for you. Yeah. And I would love to be wrong. I would like, they come out there with a 5-6 man for the little bass joint.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now you cook it with grease.
Yeah.
I would love to be wrong. It's just the way they're moving. I'm like, okay. And then in their defense, I mean, these are rough market conditions right now. Like consoles in general, we just got to look at this is a new paradigm shift with all this OpenAI and snatching up RAM and, you know, consoles, the subsidies, even prior to this, you know, obviously PS5 Pro, we were surprised at that price. Like it's getting harder and harder to be in this console. Remember even Nintendo, they were like, yo, 5 something. Yeah. Remember they were getting dragged for their price. Now you look at it in retrospect, you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
I was actually going to bring that up because the Steam controller is probably not going to be packaged in, right? So that will help bring the cost down. But also there is this reality where we look at this price tag when it gets revealed and we go, what the fuck? Like $800, $850, what are they on? But then year and a half comes down the line, prices are up. Here's PlayStation 6, $1,200. I know PlayStation fans, you're like, Matt, hold up. Yeah. Just hear me out. Like PlayStation's $1,000 plus. Right. New Xbox $1,000 plus. And it's like this. What?
Definitely new Xbox $1,000 plus.
Yeah. Definitely definitely. Right.
Definitely.
Now all of a sudden the Steam machine looks really great.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
And I think that's a 4D chess play I'm kind of posing here of like, hey, you know, 18 months down the line, this looks really nice. What about the first 18 months though?
I know.
But there is that level of like the cheapest is being rewarded. Right. And like we're seeing that in video games like Expedition and Mafia of the Old Country. Can that carry into hardware with someone like Valve? Or is it better to play the long game and say we're feeding our base and just do the slow and steady that they did with the Steam Deck? I don't know.
For them, I just got to be honest. Microsoft to me is just doing something completely different.
They're just off on their own.
I got to look at PlayStation and I just got to look at them like when PS6, let's say PS6 does come out 2026, right? Or 2027, excuse me. 2027. They're going to suck the air all out the room, bro. Like, and then we know the rumors of what they seem to be maneuvering with. It's like, oh, we're not giving you our day and date like that anymore because we're going to have our own storefront. And then with the PlayStation name and, the titles that they got going, it's going to be hard for anybody not named Nintendo to not want that hardware. They're still moving hardware. So it's just like, it's just tough. Xbox's exit plan is like, cool, we're Sega with a console. We're going to put our games on there. Y'all going to buy our games anyway. And for our 30 million, hey, if you want it bad enough, you can stay where you're at. The Series X and S. But if you wanted the new joint bad enough, you're going to pay, right? But it's still, that off ramp, and they still get exist, but they play a different game. But Nintendo, it's just hard to unseat them if you're Valve, especially if you didn't come with that nice 500-600. And then even if you, I hate to be super negative, but it's just like, even if you do have the Half-Life and all that, do you got enough in the chamber when Zelda come around? You know what I'm saying? When Intergalactic and, you know what I'm saying? Whoever, Wolverine, all that is going to, bro.
Yeah, that's why I said I think they're going like halfsies of what Xbox was doing, like, we're not going to fill their spot, but we're going to take like a little share in that pie. And that's where I think those hardcore games kind of find their audience. And to be fair, I don't think people want Valve to turn into this like first party studio gobbler. Like, we love them because of the games that they make and the kind of culture they uphold, and that they don't have to answer to shareholders, but kind of themselves. And I think that leads to some long waits like Half-Life 3, but they do tend to deliver when they show up. Yes. So, I don't know if they'll ever have that breakthrough. Like, what's our sports title? I don't, I don't know if they really have that. But, when you have like something like Team Fortress 2 that still sees like crazy amounts of regular play, same with Left 4 Dead and all these other Valve titles. I think especially Left 4 Dead has like that major potential to really break through on a big way. That was like, that was a huge game when that came to the 360. You remember that? Like,
that was a moment.
Had to be on that.
Hell yes, that was huge. That was huge.
So I was just gonna say, so they don't have that level of software that I think will create that breakthrough, and they probably know that, which is why they say they're serving their fans. But I still think this could be really big. It's just not to the level of like PlayStation or Nintendo or even Xbox. Like, I just think half of that's still enough, though, and that's kind of what I like about Valve is I feel like they know what enough is. Especially when you run Steam, like, they're going to make a lot of money no matter what. So
yeah, for sure. And to your point, Steam, just when we're charting video games as a whole, we look at those Steam numbers. Now, Steam has become such a player that now when we look at game releases, the Steam chart sometimes is bigger than the console. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what was it? It was Helldivers at first, right? When it was the PC, it lost PC and PlayStation, and the PC numbers were carrying the game. Let's just be clear, right? So it's just like we're seeing the rise of PC. And they're going to take another little chunk out of this and keep, you know what I'm saying? So to your point, I'm not saying like it's going to be some failure. I don't want to be clear with that.
Sure.
I was just being like, okay, is there real new challenger where it's like knock out the champ kind of Battlefield, Call of Duty? We're not there yet. This is more like we're going to continue to take more chunks out of this thing. By making these cool devices in this ecosystem that everyone loves and getting a little bit more consumer friendly so that more people can get part of our ecosystem kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm eager to see what they do. And apparently the Half-Life 3 announcement's coming this year. I don't know if we get the pricing and release date update this year as well. I don't know if it happens at the Game Awards or not. It seems like some insiders like at Insider Gaming have a date that they know about, but they have not shared it because they need to like quadruple double check, because obviously if you put out that release date or that reveal date even, and people are like, it's not happening. And I mean, that's like, that'll kill your site, dude, because like that fan base is the ultimate set of conspiracy theorists. So you cannot disappoint them. So whoever gets that is an penultimate scoop.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting if it didn't come from Schreier, too.
That would be hilarious. Look, man, Tom Anderson be outside.
No, he is. He's connected.
He's one of the few that usually people are specialized in one ecosystem. He's one of the few that he's like everything.
Oh, he's everywhere. They got someone on that site who's so in Ubisoft's ear, it's crazy. because they always have everything Ubisoft's doing to a granular level. Like there is someone within Ubisoft that deeply fucking hates that place and tells Tom and his team everything every month. And so if you click on their site, you go through exclusives, all the Ubisoft stuff for like the last year came from them. It's unbelievable. I can imagine Ubisoft fucking hates insider gaming. They got their hands on everything about them, bro.
Tom is outside, man. He's outside.
All right, Cog. Let's wrap this one up, sir. Another great week of defining Duke. What shall we use for the hashtag this week?
I felt like the news was like almost secondary in a way. We had so much other stuff. Then we started.
Oh no! I got a great way to tie in our last segment with some Xbox lore. RAM DD, but spell it like General RAM.
Oh, with the double M. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Hit us with a little RAM DD if you catch my drift. Cog, you are at Lord Cognito on social media. I am at G27 status over on social media. You can find us there. Otherwise, comment section works. Use the hashtag RAMDD. If I only see, is it 2 M's or 2 A's?
That's a good question.
It's 2 A's. Hold on. General
is it
RAM.
Yeah, you might be right. It might be 2 A's.
It is 2 A's. Yeah, if I see 1 A, y'all,
you're right.
You're frauding on me.
I was frauding for a second.
Cog, any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Yeah, not good one. Another good Duke under the books. Yeah, man. I'm glad we talked about, the whole AI situation, this RAM, how it's affecting the game industry. It's crazy. Man, this is no joke. We are in this weird timeline, man. It is crazy. I'm very curious how 2026 plays out with Steam. I'm very curious with 2027 with the new consoles, and then we got all the games, GTA. This next year is a very interesting year to see how things play.
We're in a very unpredictable time for game hardware that we've never quite been in. Like, again, Steam Machine might just sell out like the ROG Ally did, because I think it might just be the cheapest time to buy it, and that just might be it.
Good call out. I didn't think about that too.
I think people are starting to gear their thinking that way. Like, I think a lot of people bought the Switch too because they're like, I see what's happening with Xbox. I see what's happening with PlayStation. I see what's happening everywhere. Buy it now while it's like $450, or it'll be $550. And I mean, maybe Nintendo holds it down, but like, because it's their whole business. But like $550, $600 in a couple of years, it's like, you don't want that.
Consoles were a steal at launch.
Yeah.
And now we got to worry about.
I can't believe that. The sentence that you can let out is, I bought my Series X at launch for $500. It was such a great deal. It's like
such a great deal.
Yeah. I mean, imagine the people who right now bought this Series X or Series S on like a Black Friday sale, like in the 23, 2022, something like that. Oh, they won.
Oh, they won.
Yeah. Big time.
For sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you again. Use the hashtag RAMDD. We look forward to seeing your thoughts. Other than that, though, take excellent care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next week for episode 257 of Defining Duke and Xbox podcast. But until then, peace out.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.